Using Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio for a full hour of Flestering, I think. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, and welcome into Off the Bench here on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jake, Mario, and Taylor here with you right now. Don't worry, T-Bob had a family deal, so he'll be here in just a couple of minutes, and we are glad to be here with you on this Wednesday morning. Yeah, we think Matt Flynn is coming in for a full hour of Flestering, but he's the worst communicator this side of T-Bob, so we'll see if he's actually going to be here in studio with us. Mario, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, man. Made it to Wednesday, almost to the weekend.
Made it to Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Taylor, how you doing?
I'm tired, but we're rolling, dude.
Okay. Ooh, I like the comeback part of that. Like, I'm tired, but we're rolling. But like, we got to try to fake it till we make it.
It was a 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening day yesterday. It was a long.
That's true. That's true. That's
it
a long
was
boy.
a long one, but we're good.
Yeah, we were out late at a middle school football game where the Cubs did get the victory. I was proud of the fellas, T. They had a lot of adversity. What adversity do you ask? Third year in a row, played the same place, and the white hat's just a bad official. Just a bad official, T. Just third year in a row, playing at the same place, just a bad official. But you know what? The boys overcame that. They still found a way to get a dub. I believe it was 14-6. They were all high flying, so yeah, got home a little late, but you know what? It was worth it.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats. So what, that's junior high?
That's 8th grade, yeah.
That's 8th grade. That's tackle football?
Yeah. Yes,
Hell
it is.
We're going to talk tackle football on today's show. I watched all of the Mississippi State, Arizona film last night, and I have a lot of thoughts. First off, Jake, I think that when you mentioned this yesterday, it kind of went like, went in one ear, rattled around for a bit, then went out the other. When you were talking about how different this Mississippi State offense is. Because I watched part of the Southeastern game, right? Kind of in the corner of my eye, had it on one of the screens, whatever. I didn't watch Arizona until last night. You were underselling this. It is hard to fathom as a more different offense than what Mississippi State ran last year to what they are running this year. Like, it's not like when you said they ran the ball a lot, I was assuming it was like, because Kevin Barbay, he's a very effective thrower in terms of OC, right, from App State and everything. So when you told me they ran the ball out, I was like, okay, it's probably like how Tennessee runs the ball a lot, or how Ole Miss runs the ball a lot, right? These spread concepts, these super spread concepts to kind of build into light boxes and you run it that way. No, I mean, technically they're in the gun a lot of time in the spread here, but this is a traditional-ass 60-40, even in this Arizona game, like 65-35 rush to pass attack.
Yeah.
Like it is a instead of just moving to a new country, like Will Rogers moved to the opposite pole. We're talking like from the North Pole to the South Pole, from throwing it 70,000 times a game to what he throw it 17 against Arizona. I think it might have been the final count, like 13-17. And so I was first off just on a pure philosophical standpoint. I mean, they're already running it on 3rd and 6. They're running zone on 3rd and 6. What?
I know.
It's it's an interesting choice, Jake, because I don't know that they have the guys up front to want to do this.
Yeah, they graded out incredibly poor. I think we talked about that yesterday.
They're bad. They're bad.
A little bit.
And Arizona State's D-line looked tiny. And those offensive linemen did not look very good.
So I mean, to T's point, they're basically dotting the I, but just at a pistol a lot. Like they'll get in pistol, which is basically the I formation, and they're just running like stretch lead. Which, okay, Mississippi State running stretch lead, sure. And we talked about this all season, and everyone who covers Mississippi State tried to like hand wave us and like, oh, it's not going to be that, it's not going to be that. And we were really talking about them under center, but we were also talking about them being a run-first team, and nobody really wanted to
I didn't know that.
come to terms with
if
that.
you told me that, I hand waved it away because I automatically assumed that there would be more running concepts, but it would still mainly be a team built through Will Rogers. And it's the opposite. It is built through Woody.
Well,
it's not even close.
No, it's not even close. And for whatever reason, they kind of harped on the fact that under the center, it's not going to be under the center. Well, I mean, it's like sometimes, but even if they're not under the center, like they're going to have under the center principles.
Yes.
Like pistol is just your quarterback's heels are at 5, but your running back's still at 7.5 with his toes. And the only thing that's different is the quarterback's not, a couple yards up. That's about the only difference. But yeah, I mean, it's wholesale changes. I mean, you will see them run same side power. They had the 2-back formation T is like the 4th play of the game against Arizona, where you had 2 backs in the backfield and you had the back on the right of Will Rogers go to the backside and cut off on a counter run.
Yep, saw it.
And the running back got the counter coming across the formation. So they are running gap scheme. They're running stretch lead. They used to be at best, zone team, inside and outside zone, and then they would throw a swing pass, and they kind of considered that a run. So, yeah, it's completely different.
No, it is a traditional ass running attack, like you're talking about. And they really seem to rely on Woody finding those creases, right? Like you said, let him make this offensive line right. And it worked all right against Arizona. I mean, that was a nice win. I come away from that game not overly impressed with Arizona. I also see a Jaden Delore that made a ton of mistakes early on, turning the ball over, and yet still almost found a way to win that game. It just feels, I don't know, man. I come away from this, and I've been wrong about a lot lately, but I haven't watched a lot of stuff I've been wrong about. I haven't watched the film as closely as what I watched last night.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good for Mississippi State for the rest of the season. They are running a scheme which is super talent dependent. Talk about this all the time, right? Yeah. If you want to run one of these traditional ass rushing attacks, that's fine, but you better have some dogs because it's harder and harder. Now they do some interesting things formationally, certainly, like you said, and what they'll run, counter, and everything out of that maybe could confuse LSU and lead to some big runs. And LSU's been susceptible, right? We've seen that, but I don't know, man. On a game-to-game, week-to-week, play-to-play basis, this is a scheme that's going to rely on just your guys being able to block theirs. And you can do that against Arizona. Like I said, Arizona's front seven looked tiny and not strong and pretty slow. I could not fathom, Jake, that they would come out and try to attack LSU in the same way. Especially when LSU's look susceptible to the pass. But I don't know. They're not going to change their offense week to week.
I actually think they're going to see some of those run fits against Grambling last week, and they're going to try.
Yeah,
I would assume that they're going to try because LSU did have a problem fitting up the run. And again, you look at the opponent and it's Grambling. It's like, how's that happening? Well, anybody could have made the runs that they made. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them, but when you're not sound in the run game, when you don't fit things the right way, it doesn't really matter who you have running the football. Grambling has good enough players to find that, right? It's not hard to find a player that can run to daylight. And so Mississippi State's going to see that on tape.
Yeah.
And they are going to say, you know what? We don't have advantages against Wingo and Smith, but we have advantages because they don't know how to fit it. And we're going to try to run it at them until they show us that they have learned how to fit these runs.
Yeah, the problem is it's like, yes, it was pretty bad against Grambling, but it was also pretty good for the most part until everything broke in the second half. It was pretty good against a far superior Florida State.
And running back in Benson.
I mean, you watch, it's so interesting to watch this film from last night because it really does remind you kind of what a more normal college football team looks like. And it also kind of reinforces just how good Florida State is and by extension, like how good LSU is. Like, I don't know, man. I saw Mason Smith that definitely struggled early on last game, but one that started to find his way. I think Mekhi Wingo remained great. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble with Savion Jones setting the edge on these runs.
Yeah.
And if you're the linebackers, you're the inside linebackers, congrats. This is great for you. This is the ultimate kind of old school football get right game. Just, trust your run principles and fill the hole, attack the hole. Like this is not going to be like going against Mike Norvell's offense with all these crazy pulling linemen every single direction, every play and jet sweeps action. Like it is. I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it is a scheme that is very talent dependent. And I would be so highly disappointed in this LSU defensive line if they did not dominate this game. I think Harold Perkins is going to have a massive game. I think the only thing that's going to hold Harold Perkins back from getting in for a sack of the season is if they just don't throw it enough and he doesn't have opportunity.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to, T. I really don't. I think they're going to try to establish the run. I mean, if this tape tells a story. And they were locked in a dogfight. It was an overtime game.
Yeah.
And they continued to do it. To T-Bob's point maybe about who they were going against with Arizona, Russell Davis, number 99 for Arizona, if anybody watched that game, he is their edge rusher. And not like their edge rusher like on third down, like, hey, come in, give us a spark, use speed. Like he's there every down.
He's trying to set the edge.
He's trying to set the edge. He is 6'2", 219 pounds.
6'2", 219. What's Savion Jones, 6'5", 250?
Yeah, like 219 pounds. Like I played running back at 225 pounds.
And he was kind of big dog and 69 at times, the right tackle.
Well, isn't that like the main issue? I mean, look, a lot of people, me and Mario were critical of Mississippi State coming into the season. I mean, I picked them to finish dead last in the West. We didn't know what the new offensive coordinator was going to be because, to your credit, it's very talent dependent that State doesn't have. Mike Leach was so good about scheming around that and designing up. They don't have that anymore. And that was my biggest issue with them coming into the year.
I hesitate to say spread because things like the triple option do this as well. And granted, a lot of spread principles are based off principles of the triple option in terms of, here's a bunch of tennis balls, what are you going to go after? It may be limiting in terms of ceiling, in terms of game control, but it also helps you to punch up. This is a style that feels more like, all right, let's square up. This is like Revolutionary War fighting. Like, you line up, we shoot. Okay, your turn while we reload muskets. It's shocking, though. No, it's still shocking to me because I don't feel like this is what App State ran last year. Like, Jake, I watched this film, and if I was an alien, I would think they didn't trust their quarterback at all.
Yeah, and we're seeing, right, and somebody that's as veteran as he is, that has like every record in the SEC record
Aaron
books.
Murray's records are safe.
It might be safe. God, he's so happy right now. He is doing a little dance. And they'll play two quarterbacks, too.
Yeah, they put in Mike White because they love to run it so
Vanderbilt's
much.
old quarterback. And I was wondering, like, why did he go there? Like, that didn't make sense. He's behind Will Rogers. Well, he was probably told, hey, we're going to have some quarterback run, and you're going to be the guy. I mean, they did it early in the first quarter against Arizona. He's going to come in. He's going to run the midline option, and they want to run it with him. I mean, it is time and time again. And they're gonna have pullers. They're gonna have, but to T's point, there's not a lot of window dressing to the offense. At least there wasn't in the Arizona game.
No,
I mean, they'll motion a little bit, but they get set. They get set, then you know what the formation is, and there's not a lot of guys going across the formation. Again, you'll have guards pulling on power and counter, which we don't see from Mississippi State, certainly in a long time. But that's about it.
Like, it's just your classic. The fullback is now just a tight end that maybe they bring in and he like stands aside and then he leads of the true or false. I don't know, man. I again, if it sounds like my jaw was on the floor, it's because it kind of was watching that game last night. It just seems like such an odd commitment of resources. I mean, it actually makes Will Rogers look bad to the point where I'm like, wow, maybe Will Rogers was always bad. I don't know, because it doesn't feel like the coach staff has any trust in him. So that's when Mississippi State is going to be on defense. I mean, Jake, I'm thinking about like who even flashed. I mean, Woody's good. The running back's very good.
Yes.
To be clear. I feel bad for him that he's going to be behind that offensive line, because if you gave him a great offensive line, like he could dominate and win you some games. Number 5 was an okay receiver, but outside of that, I don't know that any offensive player like jumped off film. So I know the defense has not been good, but I firmly believe they're going to control the line of scrimmage, and they should. I mean, they should dominate this game. If they don't play well this game, then I am going to be very disheartened, because this feels like a doctor-prescribed get-right game for this defense right now.
I would agree with you there. Just watching the tape and going over it like you and I both did, you're going to have advantages on that side of the football. So you're going to have the talent advantage. You're going to have the individual matchup advantage, like even in some places where I feel like you've struggled. So if you don't get it right here, if you have some of the same issues that you had fitting the run like you did last game, then it is troublesome.
Yes.
And it is a little bit of worry, minus a little bit. And then you should be worried right now. And then when you look across the ball, we'll break down Mississippi State's defense, but I'm going to see if I can – there's like one play that I think gives a perfect example of what T-Bob's talking about with just everybody. Like Will Rogers, a quarterback that we have seen make so many plays in the SEC, now just does not look as comfortable. And that's hard. You've grown – like you were Bane. Like you were molded by this up-tempo, air raid offense, and that's who you are. Then all of a sudden, I mean, you're going to what we're watching on tape, and I can understand growing pains, even with a veteran quarterback.
I just don't. I mean, to me, it feels like a tight b-hole move from Zach Arnett, the entire thing. Like first-time coach, defensive-minded. I want to run the ball. I want to control the clock. An offense that is so averse to risk that it comes off as just toothless, as just averse of threat as well. So shocking stuff there. Slip the sides of the ball when we get back. We'll continue our Mississippi State film review here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. If you got cut off, an aggressive lane change in a Toyota Camry this morning, well, that was me. But the old girl looked pretty, didn't she? So why don't you hit All-Star Toyota up? You can go see them right there off Airline Highway. See what they got new. Maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle. We still get that warranty coverage. Maybe you want to lease. Maybe you want to buy. Look, the point is it's all there for you at All-Star. And in fact, the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, is always a great place to start your journey, as you can look at the deals, order cars right there from the internet. All-Star Toyota.
Yeah, you can actually do everything on the website. Now, like T-Bob and I tell you all the time, like, hey, if you're cool with that, then cool, because they can handle it. But like if you want to go to the dealership, maybe you're a little bit more old school like we are, you can do that as well. They are here for you. And so whatever you need, go check out that website. It's all there on the homepage, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
the best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm remembering what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Brian Kelly and Zach Arnett update their team's preparations. We'll talk to Russ Mitchell, and we'll check in on the Carolina Panthers. Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Their team's preparations. We'll talk to Russ Mitchell, and we'll check in on the Carolina Panthers. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN.
waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. We're doing a little Mississippi State film review. We have dove into. You know what doesn't lie, Jake?
I usually say words lie, numbers don't, but
No.
what else?
No. You make numbers lie. You can make anything lie. So it's the eye in the sky.
Well, you
doesn't
can make
lie.
numbers lie, but it's through the words that are the lie.
Oh, okay. Touche. A deep thought there. But no, the eye in the sky never lies.
It does not.
Okay,
No,
it's
it
an old
doesn't.
football adage, and so we went into the sky to watch this game, and I came away and I was reminded that, okay, LSU is probably much better than I've been giving them credit for these first couple of weeks, because this other team in Mississippi State just does not look like they should be on the same level. I think that last year, State probably looked better as a whole just on the film, but also they still had a scheme that could bamboozle you, threaten you, create gaps. Rodgers threw a timing, knew where to go with the ball, got the ball out of his hands. It didn't matter if the offensive line got beat because the ball was coming out. None of that is true now. So I expect the defense to do very well. I will hit the panic button if the defense does not have success this game. And you flip it to the other side of the ball, Jake, and it's kind of the same. And granted, I would say the biggest difference is that Arnett, being a defensive coach, the defense is very multiple, and they will give you a lot of different looks and a lot of weird looks, and so they're going to try to confuse you. But when you line them up man-to-man, this LSU offensive line, which I think is one of the best in the entire country and maybe only getting better as a rotation develops, including Lance Hurd, which Brian Kelly talked about at his press conference saying, probably not going to start right now, but will rotate similar to last game. And look, I think that's best, man. I think Miles Frazier's still good enough to play. And I also believe that a rotation helps everybody stay fresher into the fourth. And if there's no great drop-off, that it's okay to engage. Like some coaches are very much, we want 5 guys, we're going to have those 5 all the time. I've always believed that if the guys are good enough, that a rotation can actually work there. But whatever. The point is, this offensive line for LSU is already awesome. They're only getting better with a guy like Lance Hurd emerging, who looks like a giant out there. And the Mississippi State D-line, again, just nothing to write home about. Like, they just looked kind of okay. More maybe like a little more size, maybe than like the offensive line was bringing to bear. But no, I mean, LSU should dominate in the trenches this game.
Yeah, I was a little surprised watching tape. Nathan Pickering and Nathaniel Watson are players that have played for a very long time at Mississippi State, and they are players that have made plays even against LSU. And
Pickering's 92.
He is 22.
Oh, 20.
If I'm not mistaken.
22. Then I mean, yeah.
He's a very veteran player.
I remember him. Yeah.
Watson's 14. Again,
he didn't jump
a player
off
that has been out there and made some plays, but just in this tape against Arizona and Southeastern didn't jump off the page either. Now, the one constant guy is a guy that is going to be right in the middle of the defense. Is Jet Johnson. Great name, number 44. He's the middle linebacker, limited athletically, but is always in the right spot, is going to go out there and try to make the what?
No, I'm laughing because I said 44 is representative of this entire Mississippi State team, not the most athletic, but disciplined, tough, and pretty good.
Okay.
Right? It's kind of like the whole Mississippi State team. They have a talent deficiency maybe compared to LSU, but, it's not like they just play awful football, but they are limited.
Yeah. Again, this guy's going to play football the right way. He'll be in the right spots and all of that. He's certainly one of the guys that flashes to me on tape. They've got a couple safeties that I really like. Marcus Banks, he's number 1T. Sean Preston, number 7. I think they're really good football players. I think they flash at times, but that's in the back end. The first 2 levels, and certainly that first level, I was expecting more. I was. Because I've seen it. I've seen it from those guys before, and I'm not sure if it's scheme. I'm not sure what it is, but this was a Power 5 opponent that you were locked in, again, in a dogfight with until overtime. So I don't know why they didn't make the plays, but I saw a lot of leaning on offensive linemen, just kind of got engaged and then just really didn't move their feet. So
yes, absolutely. Like, and then Arizona State's Arizona's O-line, Jake, was nothing really. I mean, maybe that's what we need to do. We need to get a still image of Arizona's O-line and LSU's offensive line, and you will see what I am talking about. It's why as a state, and it's not like the game was in Arizona, right? Maybe that would be a factor where it's like, okay, well, this is Mississippi State away from home. No, it was in Starkville, exactly where you're going to be going this weekend.
I think you mentioned 94 there. You're asking numbers. Jaden Crumdy, he flashed a couple times.
I think
94.
He had one. He's the only person that, like, at a point in the film, I was like, okay, there was a little power behind that move. There was a little speed there. But again, you're right. Like, Pickering was all right last year.
We talked about him. Remember that he was one of the guys we highlighted coming into the game last year.
I remember we didn't think he was that good, but he was. Or excuse me, I remember not being overly impressed with the Lions last year either. But at least Pickering was making plays. He did not make a lot of plays against Mississippi State. Again, look, I mean, Jake, am I wrong if I'm emerging from this and saying that LSU should win this game big? Because I see this film and I don't know how. Like, I don't think there's an excuse for LSU not to win this game by double digits. I know going on the road in the SC is hard. I know that Zach Arnett is probably got some, interesting wrinkles loaded up and ready to try to mess with LSU's heads here, maybe lead them into some mistakes. I know that the defense has looked very susceptible at times, but again, on a man-to-man basis, you are significantly superior. You should control the lines. Your receivers should be able to make big plays. Jaden Daniels, if Jaden DeLaura had some of the success he had, even with the turnovers and everything, Jaden Daniels could take over this game. Harold Perkins, I think, is going to make himself felt. So no, I don't know, man. I feel like LSU should win this game big, and I'll be disappointed this thing is close, and I will be shocked and appalled if you were to go out there and lose.
Yeah, so listen to what T-Bob's talking about. Like, he's giving you the opponent. He's not going out there saying, oh, man, Mississippi State, little brother, you got to go out there. This is off of the tape. This is based off what we both saw with our own eyes. Like, you have to go out there and do the things we're talking about because you have the talent to do it. We know who you have lining up across from some of these issues Mississippi State currently has right now, and so you have to take advantage. Like, there shouldn't be a time where they can block Mekhi Wingo or Mason Smith one-on-one.
No.
Like, that is a big advantage for you in the middle. And so you have to take full advantage of all that, though. Everything that we're saying, it's great. It sounds good, but you have to go out there and actually do that. Like, you feel good about this offensive front against the defensive front that we've seen on tape over 2 games for Mississippi State. And so you have the clear advantages in a couple of places. And Mississippi State is a team that is doing a lot of new. Not defensively, but offensively, there's a lot of new. We've laid it out for you. You have to right now go out there. I'm going to try to clip a pass. I don't have the iPad where I can clip it, but I'm just going to old school film it on the phone, shoot it over to Taylor, because there's a play for Will Rogers that 9 times out of 10 he makes in the last couple of years that he just looks so uncomfortable trying to make right now.
He looks bad.
And I hate that because I have been a defender of him in any offense. I'm like, he'd be fine. He's got the arm talent. He doesn't look comfortable in this new offense. And maybe 6 games from now, maybe he will. 3 games from now, maybe he will. But he did not on Saturday.
No. Again, just very head-scratching. And look, we did talk about it, though, through things like the transfer portal and NIL, the democratization of college football, the kind of flattening of the middle where you have the funnel coming from the best team losing players and the group of 5 losing players, and it's kind of spreading out and making, kind of maybe a lot of middle-of-the-pack teams get better. So I guess what I'm saying is maybe that's the path, and Zach Arnett finds it, and he puts together a team that more suits what he's trying to do. But this feels like such a square peg in a round hole situation to me. What's the spread on this game, boys? Do we know?
9.5.
Okay. I mean, I would take LSU to cover. I would be disappointed if they don't. I know it's on the road. I know it's in Starkville. I know all of these things. I know it's 11 a.m. But again, LSU should have. I mean, Mekhi Wingo is going to be a problem for them in this game. Harold Perkins, I think I like him. And after hearing Brian Kelly talk about him in the press conference, and again, when we rewatched that Grambling game and just thinking about him more, I think I kind of like him in this nickel Sam role. I think he can develop there, and you can use him to affect the game in a more consistent manner. I think that underneath the surface a little bit, I mean, I sent the stupid PFF post today or whatever where he had like a 90 pass rush grade, a 50% win rate, which was most, to Grambling, whatever. But the point is, he definitely took a step forward from week 1 to week 2, even if there still were mistakes. I think he's going to take a very big step forward this weekend against an offense that just, for me, again, it just feels like a get-right game for a defense that needs it, that needs to gain a little confidence, where a lot of your classic defensive principles will lead you to success here.
Yeah, setting the edge was a real issue for Arizona. So those principles for LSU, set the edge, fly to the football. And if you'll notice, T, I mean, how many times did Mississippi State get the edge and the running back never had to get off his path?
Yep.
Like, he just stayed on his path. They were running stretch lead, and he just stayed on the path and then put his foot in the ground once he got past the tight end block and just got 7-8 yards, right? That stopped by setting the edge, not allowing the running back to stay on his path. You make him cut inside maybe a gap too early or try to bounce everything outside, string it out. Then your athletes, which you have better, are going to take over the game. And so, like, there was fundamental things that Arizona didn't get done that LSU has to get done, and I believe they will get done.
Yeah, I think Saban Jones is going to be excellent this game in terms of setting that edge. I like Swinson as well on the backside. I think that Matt Howell. You know who's got to step up, Jake? It's a position that we've been talking about. I want to see what the inside linebackers do here, because again, this feels like a game in which they could shine, in a game in which they're going to be relied upon in their run fits to, and they're going against a good running back, right? And I mean, what's the perspective like there, Jake? Like, when you're a running back, did it feel like, okay, if I'm a center, I'm matching up with a nose guard, essentially, right?
Right.
Do you kind of feel like you're matching up with the linebackers?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without question. That's why whenever I start talking about guys that I played against, it usually starts like with Patrick Willis, and it'll go to Brandon Spikes, and it'll go some of those middle linebackers, because that's who you're against 9 times out of 10. Like, if you get to the second level, like we start talking safeties, but it's always the Mike linebacker. Like, who's the Mike linebacker? Because it's me versus you. And this is like, you have their most talented player on offense is their running back, Woody Marks, undoubtedly. Certainly this year. I mean, he has like every school record for receptions almost by a running back, and he's about to, if I'm not mistaken, like set the school record for receptions.
Wow.
That's who he was, like, because that's what offense he played in. And I didn't know that he could, integrate himself into this new offense. He looks like the only one that really has.
Yeah.
And he has and done a really nice job of it. So, yeah, it's got to be Omar Speights, Greg Penn, whoever that is right in the middle versus Woody Marks.
Wow. Yeah, so Penn, Speights. All right, Speights is questionable this game, right?
He looked like,
But the Weeks, the Weeks brothers
yes.
played some at the
this
end of
actually,
last week.
This feels like a game that they could play.
I didn't want to say it.
they could play and have some success.
Not a lot of pass coverage responsibility here, guys. This is a good hard-nosed, old-school, butt-kiss linebacker type of game.
Yeah, Speights did
right
look
here.
a little. I hadn't even checked the report or anything, but there was one play going to the north end zone that he looked like he had some issue. I don't know if it was ankle, hammy.
I think ankle
something.
is what.
Okay.
Taylor, am I correct? I think Kelly said ankle.
Okay.
At the press conference on Omar Speights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I know exactly what play it was.
Also, I should say that I listened to all of Kelly's press conference yesterday. I missed it on Monday. That's my fault. And one thing Brian Kelly does generally do a pretty good job of is providing perspective. Like it's a long season, things are getting better. Certainly, there's stuff that needs to be improved upon, but improvement will come, and that would ring hollow if I hadn't seen it last year, right? And so I do think that's true, and I think that this weekend's a perfect opportunity to start that journey. So, there is your Mississippi State film breakdown. If you have any questions, you can get them in the chat, the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. When we get back, we'll continue to talk LSU. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Ooh, boy. You know what gets me excited? Drinking tequila at 11 a.m. And that's what you can catch me doing at Don Juan's. We can drink that Noel Family Distillery Tequila, Louisiana's first ever tequila. How about that? Distilled right here in Donaldsonville. In fact, you can go take tours of the distillery if you want to check it out. And look, they got Blanco, Reposado. They also have a delicious pickle vodka, which I was like, oh, wow. I don't really like vodka. I do like pickle vodka. How about that? Sweet rum as well. But the point is, if you're like me, you love tequila, right? And it's now the official tequila of LSU Athletics. You can actually get it in the stadium. So support local. Treat yourself to delicious tequila. You want Noel Family Distillery's tequila.
Yeah, T-Bob mentioned you can go take a tour. You can. It's open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. You can go hang out. Special events as well. You can book your special event there. So go ahead, get that tour set up. Go hang out over there. Have a lot of fun. Watermelon?
Watermelon margaritas, yeah.
There you go.
Delicious.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hanniger, join me and Jimmy out for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Scott Rabelais, Randy McKay, and Wes Reynolds all with us. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. There we go. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor hanging out with you today. Get to see your comments here. Creek Dweller says, Gap responsibility will become paramount Saturday. Moose State will study film on us, and they'll say if Grambling can run on them, so can we. Yeah, look, I probably agree they think
completely
that.
Fair. That's why I think they will.
Should not be true.
Yes, that's why we led the show saying they're going to try. They're going to watch that tape, and they're going to see, like we talked about on Monday, a linebacker spilling it to a safety, and the safety having zero technique coming in there trying to make the play. They're going to see a linebacker that tries to do it by himself, doesn't spill it to the safety, and leaves a gap in the inside. I mean, that's, 6 times on tape? Now, LSU within the game cleaned it up, if that makes you feel better. But, the initial first 25 plays, right, they had a lot of issues. And so, they're going – their best player for Mississippi State's their running back. Mm-hmm. They want to run the football. Yeah. You showed that gap integrity was an issue in a portion of the game. They're going to try it. That is going to be the game plan. It's up to you because you can fix that. You can't fix the Jimmies and Joes at this point. You have veteran players. You have a defensive coordinator that last year was one of the best in the country at adjusting, right? Mm-hmm. So didn't get it done in the first game in adjusting. Second game, much better. Let's see if he can start the game.
Well, even the Mississippi,
getting those guys in the right spot.
Even the State game last year, right?
Yeah,
State
absolutely.
Came out, was popping off early on, a couple adjustments made, and you shut down what was, I think, a much better offense for that entire game. Brambo says, I remember thinking LSU should beat Arkansas convincingly without KJ Jefferson and thinking LSU would surely beat 4-7 A&M to go 10-2. Jaden Shambles proved me wrong in both games.
You laughed a little too hard.
Jaden Shambles is kind of funny. I'm sorry.
I think it is kind of funny.
I've heard Jaden Scrambles, never Jaden Shambles.
I think if you want to be the guy that boils every football game simply down to the quarterback, then okay, then every time they win, you're going to say it's because the quarterback. Every time they lose, because that's your prerogative. Sure, the Arkansas game was awful. The A&M game was about the defense getting its ass kicked and getting run over, just straight up. Devon A. Chain stealing their chain. Yeah. And laughing at them as they were like, "Come on, man!" But whatever. Again, I just that ain't. It's not going to happen this game. I just don't know how State threatens you here. Do you want to do that play, or do we want to go to break and do the play when we get back?
Taylor, do we have that? We have
Is
it
the
ready to go.
play
Yeah,
ready to
just
go?
real quick.
Okay.
And again, like I didn't get a chance to cut this off the screen, so it's like literally recording a play. All right, so this is just giving you an example of a different Will Rogers, okay? And you can play it back, okay? It's a double move by the outside receiver, a little sluggo, a little slant and go, but watch, he looks at him the entire time. Just the entire time.
It's so funny you're saying this, Jake. This jumped off last night as well. I'm used to Will Rogers scanning, going through his progression. He is locked in on the deep out. Like that should be picked.
Yeah.
A better DB picks that if you just watch the quarterback.
And I'm okay with it's a sluggo. So if you're going to run a sluggo and look at it the whole time, you got to give more than just a little trunk twist there as your fake on the slant part of it. Like Will Rogers last year would have looked down the middle of the field, come back to this late, back shoulder throw on the money, catch it, first down, Mississippi State. So that's what we're talking about. Like that is not a comfortable Will Rogers right there. Not the one that we've known for the last 3-4 years.
Look at that Arizona D-line here too. Go back, Taylor. Tell me if that D-line looks like LSU's defensive line. I mean, bro. That's not even close. These look like cats that were just, that were like, okay, these are pretty good high school football players.
Yeah.
It looks like they got NFL guys lined up for LSU. Now the Tigers just got to go out there and prove it. But, boy. And remember, I wasn't too impressed with the offensive line for Mississippi State last year. And I got a little pushback at not being that impressed with them in the trenches last year, and LSU controlled it. I think due to their style change, LSU should control it even more this year.
I wrote Cole yesterday after watching the tape because Cole Kubelik knows offensive line very, very well. And I knew he had already watched the tape. And I said, man, Mississippi State's offensive line really struggled against Arizona, huh? He wrote back, LOL.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was his comment. I mean, they absolutely they did. And I didn't think they'd have those issues this year, but they've had them in 2 games.
All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. You want purlin, tubing, steel buildings? Well, guess what? It's all there for you at Community Steel in Gonzales, Louisiana. Local, right here, out of the area, selling, and remember, kind of disrupting the market quite a bit because there's not a bunch of middlemen in the chain from some of these national companies. Artificially inflating the price. It's being brought directly to you, which means you save and you get to take advantage of a live and local sales team, and you get to take advantage of actually walking the ground, seeing the products if you would like before you buy them. The bottom line is for all of your steel needs, you want Community Steel Company.
Yeah, look, they love their customers. They want you to come out, come visit them during their business hours. And it's a great environment, and everything's local. Like, you'll get a feel of exactly what we're talking about. And when you pick up the phone, you're talking to someone local, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's always a What If Wednesday. We'll have J.D. Pickell of On3 talking college football and SEC power rankings. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor. Hanging out today. We basically spent this entire hour previewing Mississippi State. Again, I think LSU should dominate this game. I think they should cover the 9.5. I think it's very easy. Like, look at a whole what you've done through 2 games if you're the Tigers. The 31 unanswered looms large, right? That is a sequence that is essentially like an obelisk overshadowing everything else, right? Everything tastes worse because of the 31 unanswered. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be the case. So if you feel that way, that absolutely feel that way. But that's a damn good Florida State team. And that is a first half in which you were better than a damn good Florida State team. Now, the second half ended up happening what was happening. Then you come out against Grambling, you struggle a bit, and all of a sudden your confidence is a little low, right? And the belief in this team is a little low. But if you could play like you did in that first half, even with the red zone mistakes, you'll smash this team. It won't even be close. And I think that LSU should do that, should start to regain their confidence. It should say, okay, you know what? No, we still are one of the better teams in the country, even if we're not maybe top 5, top 7, top 8.
I would agree with you, T-Bob. I think that when you look at everything that LSU's done so far this year, obviously we're going to look at the second half of Florida State and highlight that and dissect that maybe more than anything. But there's times in that first half, and you mentioned it, and I'm glad you did earlier in the show, your run defense against a really good offensive line and a really good running back was really good until the final minutes of that Florida State game, okay? So that has to be a strength for yours in this game. You have the advantage. You have, I would say, all 3 level advantage, but certainly the first 2 levels. Like, you have to take full advantage of those advantages. And so This is a game, you're on the road, it's an early kick. I get all of that. But if you don't go out there and play well in this game, then you're just not the team that we thought you were.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I said, that would be and look, I'm still gonna allow, like Mason Smith, I'm gonna allow him time to kind of continue to refine his sea legs. Already you saw it in game number
this
one.
This is a Mekhi Wingo game, though.
But yes, I was going to say, but Mekhi Wingo's in great form right now. And I liked a lot of what Savion Jones did against Florida State. He got a little undisciplined maybe against Grambling, but he was really good against Florida State. Swinson was good against Florida State. If those guys play like they did that game, you're going to be just fine come Saturday morning.
Yeah, this is a linebacker game as well.
Yeah,
we've talked about it on the show during the breaks. Like, this is one where the linebackers, whoever it is, Omar Spade's questionable with an ankle, whoever it is, like, this game is going to be a lot about what you're doing and how you play, how you fit the run, how you get to the edge. If the edge is set, are you there for the cutback? All of those things, you have to raise your level of play. A lot of people want to point out the defensive backs because they've gotten mossed 5 different times, and we understand that, and there's been issues back there. This hasn't been a perfect year for you either. Like, that level has to be better. That level is going to be counted on in this game and moving forward. This is the perfect game for you to show that you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and look, the offense has been awesome, and it's strength on strength when it comes to LSU's offense against Mississippi State's defense, and I think you're more athletic, and I think you'll win that strength because I think you're going to dominate in the trenches. So feel good about your Tigers this weekend. Hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. You want service to the highest degree? You want Accutemp for all your AC, heating, and electrical needs. It's time to finally take control of your comfort zone. Okay, y'all? And you do this by calling Accutemp. You'll start to experience what I mean by service to the highest degree. Like, it's so incredibly easy, guys, to set up the time when they're going to come out of your home. They work around your schedule. It's not be here in this 12-hour window. And if you're not there, sorry, you're screwed. No. Look, it's, again, unparalleled customer service. And you don't believe me, go look at the online reviews because they really speak for themselves. So, again, I don't want you to think twice. Any AC, heat, and electrical needs, you want Accutemp of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to that website. Get that appointment scheduled right now. I've done it during the show, right? I've been here talking about Accutemp, and I've needed them to come out and check out my unit. You can do it right there on the homepage of AccutempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Good morning, people. It is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, September 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. If you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to OTB. I don't know if Flestering is going to happen or not today. Traffic is pretty crazy out there. It actually led me with the one day. I'm like, I'm going to stay home and cook breakfast for the kids, help the wife and everything. I think 30 minutes should be enough. It normally takes me literally about 15 minutes to get here, but no, got in like a minute late. So it's crazy there. I don't know if Matt's going to make it or not. We'll see.
He said his ETA was between 8:30 and noon. So
yeah. We'll see. Boys, when I tell you my mentions are kind of going through it right now, turns out there's a lot of Texas football fans.
Yeah, turns out they're a big brand, T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't quite know this. And I planted a lot of flags in the ground.
Right.
And it has been about, it just keeps gaining momentum. It's been about 72 hours of just constant assaults on my character, on my toughness. And all I would say to all these Texas fans is, you're welcome. Okay? Sark doesn't win this game without me. I drove you all to greater heights by challenging you to be better than you thought you could be, right? I am the man who
in the arena.
Well, yes, in this case, absolutely. But I am essentially whoever the guy that Kirby Smart used to convince the Bulldogs last year they're going 5-7.
Yeah.
I'm that.
Right.
But for the Texas Longhorns. So you're welcome for everything I've done for you. And if it's my lot in life to have to take these baseless and personal attacks to lead to an Alabama 10-point home loss, well, so be it. I will bear this cross, okay? This is my burden, and I will bear it with a stoic and quiet and manly demeanor. Because make no mistake, the end game here was Alabama losing by double digits at home. And so my plan worked to utter perfection. as it's the first time Nick Saban's lost a home game at double digits since 2003 at LSU.
It's over 7,000 days, like 7,273 days.
It
was almost a full 2 decades. It was a couple of weeks short of 2 full decades.
It's only the third time that he's ever lost a game by double digits since he's been at Alabama. I think the only other ones are like 2010 USC, and randomly 2017 Auburn. I'd forgotten 2017 Auburn. I guess they kind of, handled that game a bit. One thing I didn't realize, again, you're welcome, Texas, and you're welcome anybody who hates Alabama for me helping to kind of, drive the stake in there. Let's explore Alabama a little bit, Jake.
Yep.
You know how you can kind of you can massage, you can frame numbers in ways to benefit your argument. So I'm going to give Bama a little leeway here. I'm going to start looking at Bama's last 6 Power 5 games, which starts with a win. So I'm not even starting a loss here.
Yeah.
Starts with a 24-20 win over Texas A&M. But then you look and you come up with a 3-3 record in your last 6 Power 5 games. And what's maybe even crazy, so you have the loss to LSU, you have the loss to Tennessee, and now you have the double-digit loss to Texas at home. But what's wilder is that the wins are a 4-point win over an awful A&M team.
Mm-hmm.
And last year they were awful. It's a big win over Mississippi State. I think they won like 30-6 or something. And then the other one is what was it? It's a very close win over
Beat Kansas
Auburn.
State in the bowl game.
They beat Kansas. Okay, that's right. I didn't. So I would say 4-3 in their last 7. That's on me. Or wait, no, was there? Yeah, no, their bowl game was included, I believe. That's right. But they did beat Kansas State badly as well. But the point is, that's about. There's another close win in there. What was it? I can't remember. But the point is that's about as. It's weird because all of a sudden, not only are they losing games, but even the wins are turning into like 1-score games. I don't think. Look, Alabama's not done being a very good program, but I don't think they're going to win a national championship this year. It'll be the first time in Nick Saban's era at Alabama they will have gone 3 years without a national championship. I think Alabama is done from ever assuming the heights that they have had since 2007.
This, to me, was not very hard to see. And I think we talked about it yesterday, but when you look at who they lost, where they lost the players, being at the 2 most important positions, quarterback and edge rusher, in my opinion, left tackle will be the 3rd. And when you are trying to replace that, and then like the guys you're replacing them with aren't the same guy, aren't the same caliber guy, yeah, there's going to be some issues. When you return like one of the least amount of production in the country, like 127, I believe, in returning production.
Yeah.
There's going to be some issues. When you replace both coordinators, offense and defense, in the same year, there's going to be some issues. And like even Alabama, like you're trying to do all those things that we just laid out there, it is difficult. And they'll still put a good team out there, right? A lot of teams would have like a 7-win season if they were trying to replace all the things Alabama was replacing. They won't. They'll win 9 games. Maybe they get to 10 wins. But it's just very difficult to try to do what they're doing right now. And you saw that. Like, you saw that in the game on Saturday. Some of the guys that they brought in, some of the depth pieces just aren't there yet. Now, Alabama's schedule, you look at it, they got a nice little opportunity to go on a run before they play some of the more difficult teams. They have a nice little block in the middle there. But, like, watching Ole Miss, like, do we just assume Alabama can roll the helmets out there and beat Ole Miss? No. LSU? No. So, if you really if it didn't have Alabama, if it didn't have the number on the side of the helmet and that crimson and cream or whatever they call it, like we probably would have given them a completely different record.
Yeah.
But there were so many people like Game Day and others that were like, man, Nick Saban smiling in a press conference, we got to go the other way because they were nervous to pick against them when in reality the story was told before the season.
And look, I mean, for guys like Herbie and stuff, I don't think it's a smile, right? But it was the 15 years of sample size.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, they've never gone 3 years without winning that.
Right.
So right when you declare him dead, that's when Nick Saban has one final punch. But again, okay, think about it. Because whenever you're great for a long time, what's a sign that maybe things are going the opposite direction? Oh, the other close win I was thinking of last year, and Grant, okay, I'm going to say 4-3 in their past 7 Power 5 games with the Kansas State win. I hadn't counted that. But remember, they barely beat Ole Miss last year by 6, and that's what it was. But, like, whenever you want to think about an empire starting to crumble, the cracks are these interesting little streaks starting to come to an end and then starting to come to an end more consistently. So we already mentioned it last year, but about 50% of the one-score games for Alabama in the Nick Saban era have come in the last 2 years and now this year, right? You used to be undefeated for a long time against former assistants.
Yeah.
Then Jimbo breaks through first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Smart and the Natty. Now Sark is first assistant to beat you in Tuscaloosa. All of a sudden, you're 28-3. Still incredible. But look, in the last couple of years, there's been a run of something that had never happened before. That's now happened 3 times, and now just happened in the worst way. We mentioned the double-digit home loss being the first time in forever. And it's just they're still very good. But again, that is a series of evidence that does show the trajectory is trending downward and that they're still going to be great in terms of overall record. I think them and LSU, it's still a coin flip as to who wins the West, right? Like, I don't think it's a guarantee either way. I still think those are the 2 best teams, but I don't feel like you're championship worthy this year. And Saban will, if he wants to stick with it long enough, he might. Yeah, I think I'll never doubt his ability to, like, because if he gets a very good quarterback, like, then suddenly you're relevant again. But I don't think you're ever going to get back to the dominance that again that you've had for the last 15 years. Like, you're not going to want to see them in a 12-team playoff, to be clear, right?
Right.
And they'll be very relevant in making 12-team playoffs.
Great point.
But you're not going to fear them in the same way you once did. So Alabama, I would say, is done relative to what their dynasty was. If we wanted to shift that to A&M, I think A&M's just done. I think Jimbo's just clearly done, and A&M has to. Well, we can talk about it next segment, but they got some tough questions to answer.
Real quick on your point about Alabama, we talked about it yesterday for a little bit. Like, you can't just stack 4- and 5-star guys on the bench for 2 years. Those guys are not staying any longer. They're not waiting for their turn. They're going and they want to play, and I understand that they want to go be somewhere else, and so you're not going to have this depth and this ability to really get the players to understand about your culture and develop your players because they're not sticking around. Like, you look at the transfer portal, Alabama lost players to Miami, Houston, Georgia Tech, USC, even a player to FAU, 3 players to TCU, player to Colorado, and they brought in players from UAB and Louisiana Lafayette. So, you know what I'm saying? So they're trying to, just like everybody is, you're not getting me wrong. I mean, look, LSU's got players from Group of 5 schools, FCS schools. Like, you lose those players that, like, years past, they're sitting there, they're learning. Like, your backup running back, Trey Sanders, like, he's learning from the guys in front of him, and he's building. JoJo Earl, well, he's learning from the receivers in front of him, and then when he's a junior, he goes out there and he shines. Those players play for TCU now, and that's a big difference. And so all the numbers that we're throwing out there, we need to kind of put the asterisks by it because college football is different. It is different. It's more different than it's ever been before. It's going to continue to be different. It's never going back. And so some of the powers and dynasties that we've seen, like, you've got to make some changes to be like, I don't know what you do in high school recruiting. I don't know how long you can stack players. Kirby's done a really nice job of it. But even Kirby went into the portal this year when he didn't a year ago.
Yeah. No,
so, like, even Kirby kind of realizes, like, he had to go get Missouri's best receiver.
Yeah, Georgia will. I mean, Georgia might feel this year. Again, I'm not uber convinced on Georgia. They're going to roll through their schedule. I would still favor them over whoever wins the West to win it. But I don't think they look better than Michigan. I mean, J.J. McCarthy looks like a top 10, maybe top 5 quarterback in the entire country this year thus far. We'll see. Georgia's offense. I mean, but again, the Bulldogs are going to have plenty of time to try to figure it out. But also, again, they're not going to really know what it feels like to get punched in the face. The bottom line is I want the SEC to burn. I want 0 SEC teams in the playoff. A fat 0. You can call me the kingfish because I want a chicken in every pot and a playoff team in every conference except for the SEC.
Does that include LSU?
No. This is all obviously with the caveat if it's not LSU. I want 0 SEC teams.
You just did the Booga Nation thing. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. That was a
Good times.
But yeah, I mean, look, and from where you say you have a chance of getting that this year. I mean, what's really kind of the mind F to think about is what if it came down to just a little, hypothetical here, which playoff hypotheticals are a bit annoying, but like a 1-loss SEC champ against a 1-loss Pac-12 champ. Who should get in?
The Pac-12 champ.
Exactly. Weird times. Hey, what if it was Georgia, because Georgia get the benefit of the doubt, but weird times. Yeah,
there's 8 teams ranked in the Pac-12, like we laid out yesterday. There's teams that still have like 6 ranked opponents on their schedule, so they have the opportunity. So if you go through that and you only have 1 loss on the other side, and certainly like if you beat another, let's say, 1-loss team in the Pac-12 championship game, and you gain that momentum the last week of the year, which we've seen has propelled teams into, that 4th spot, and whoever's fighting for that 4th spot. That's why, like, Notre Dame this year is fascinating, because they have the teams on their schedule to be able to put themselves in position. But in years past, they haven't been able to have the luxury of having a loss. They've only gotten in when they're undefeated. Like, are they going to have the luxury this year? Because it looks like some of these other powers that we're used to seeing, Alabama, Clemson, maybe not going to be there.
If they would beat Ohio State, I think they could maybe take one. But
what if you beat Ohio State, USC, lose on the road to Duke?
I think that's
which
fine.
is very possible.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. If you beat Ohio State and USC, I think you're golden. Get it?
Domer.
Golden. All right, when we get back, you want to make fun of A&M some?
Sure.
So I got some A&M stuff. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Tune in this Sunday for our noon kickoff. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Immediately following that, the New York Jets will travel to the Dallas Cowboys. And then our nightcap, the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. Catch all three of those games here on 104.5 ESPN.
Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Brian Burgess says, wonder how much truth there is to the rumor that Saban's going to retire at season's end. I think it's real easy to believe something like that right now. You know, again, just in the how it all feels in the moment, and seeing him look kinder and more human. And
well, did you see where this like originated from?
No, I've not seen this rumor.
I saw it last night, and then I started Googling to confirm it, and there was nothing. It was like some Instagram page I'd never heard of. It was like College Football Frenzy or something like that, like some like generic like small time college football Instagram page. They just put it out and they said like, according to our sources, Nick Saban has told people close to him and will be retiring at the end of the year, and a bunch of people just ran with it.
Their sources are, the message boards.
Their sources were like, this is my guess.
No, look, well, and again, like that doesn't shock me in the slightest because again, this is all the very easy takeaway here. Like Jake said, he wasn't smiling about his football team. He was smiling about the $20 million house in Juniper, Florida that he just bought. So, and that's another thing that people point to, be like, he's done, and you know what? And like, maybe he is, because again, a normal human being probably would be like, you know what? I might go enjoy some of these fruits of my labor a little bit. But it's if it doesn't go well this year, it is hard. You know how like when you're shooting hoops, Jake, you always want to end on a make?
Yeah.
It's hard.
One more.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a little hard for me to wrap my head around if this season, like, now, let's say they win the West, maybe like lose the SEC, but win a New Year's Six bowl. Maybe that's a bank in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's good enough. But like, if it goes awry and they lose like 3 games this year, that feels hard to see him walking away on that one.
And that's why we always talk about like the greats, like maybe like staying a little too long. And I'm not there with Coach Saban yet. I just, maybe I'm biased because I played for him, but I got too much respect for that man to think that he's just completely done. But also, like, you don't have to prove anything.
No.
I mean,
if you want to be done, Coach, we're here for you.
You have an incredible resume that nobody else can stack theirs up against right now.
Yep.
Like Kirby, maybe Kirby gets you.
Kirby's young enough.
He's on a pretty good start. He's a pretty good start right now. So, I don't know. I don't know if that he's ready to retire. He's certainly like, has maybe changed over the last couple of years because, You know, he's not yelling on the sidelines like he used to. But I mean, I don't know. That's a sign that he's necessarily going to retire. You know, the house in Florida is interesting, but look, he's always had a nice house.
Yeah.
in different places.
But
So,
like, you got to find some time to spend some time there, right?
Yeah.
It's a $20 million home.
Isn't his like lake house everybody talks about? I think that's in Georgia.
Yeah, like
It
Burton.
is.
Yeah. Which I always wonder how he gets there so fast. I mean, I guess actually I don't know where Lake Burton is in relation to T-Town.
it doesn't matter. Like, it could be a plane.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just like jet, just
Yeah.
like private jet, just PJ.
I would be shocked if he doesn't have his own.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, I'm sure even if he didn't have his own, like, and didn't own it, he has access to Alabama's whenever he wants it.
So I love your point though, Jake, because as long as Saban is still coaching, he will never be fully done. He's still putting together number one classes in the country. They're still going to be relevant in a 12-team playoff, especially, right? The door is wide open for him every single year. On the other hand, I am ready to declare Jimbo Fisher as being 100% done.
Oh, wow.
Cooked, done, finish, put the kebab in him, Jake. And, I mean, the evidence, quite frankly, is overwhelming. Texas A&M is 1-7 in their last 8 games against Power 5 teams. The only win being the beatdown of LSU last season. They have lost 7 consecutive road games, and they still have to go 2 Tennessee, 2 Ole Miss, 2 LSU. In all of Jimbo's time at A&M, Jake, they're 7-14, and shout out to Emil McClellan, give me a lot of this ammunition. They're 7-14 on the road, and that includes going 4-1 on the road in 2020. Enhance. Let's do a little CSI. Enhance. And again, credit Emil here.
How many coaches, real quick,
Yeah.
how many coaches had their best year in 2020?
It's a year in which was such like why was
Think
there a
about
more why was the most dominant team we've ever seen in 2020 in that Alabama team, right? Why they have more like high. It's an outlier year, man.
The fat people compare that to 2019 LSU ticks me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that Alabama handled the chaos. I mean, it'd be an incredible game between the two, but I think Alabama handled the chaos better than everybody else. But clearly others did not, and it was an easier road than before. It was 10 SEC games. No, miss me with that. Anyway, whatever. Let's focus in, boys. So enhance. Let's look at that road thing. A&M under, and remember, when was A&M winning? They were never really winning with offense. They were mainly winning with Elko's defense, correct? Might be time to call up Mike Elko.
They had like the number 2 rush defense in the nation that year.
Yes, so offensively
like that,
under Jimbo Fisher on the road, Texas A&M has failed to score at least 30 points in 80% of the games. In fact, they've done it now after Saturday. They've done it just 5 times. 2020 South Carolina, they won big. 2020 Auburn, they won big. 2020 Tennessee, they won big. And then 2021 Mizzou, they won big. This Saturday, again, another bad sign, is the first time they've ever scored 30 on the road and lost. And now what time is it? It's time to fire up the old Sumlin-Fisher record comparison machine, something that A&M fans absolutely hate.
They do. They do not like
Kevin
that.
Sumlin, through his first 62 games, 43-19. Jimbo Fisher, 40-22. So a full 3 games behind Sumlin now. And that isn't to say that Sumlin's a good coach, because it's clear that Kevin Sumlin lost whatever he once had. And yet he was still better than Jimbo Fisher. That's why I'm declaring Jimbo Fisher done. Done and dusted.
This is his 6th season as a head coach at Texas A&M. And if he finishes outside the top 25, it will be the, fourth of the 6.
Yeah.
He's only finished in the top 25. In 2018, he finished 16th. In 2020, he finished 4th. 2021, not ranked in the coaches poll. 2022, not ranked in the coaches poll. Going back to 2019, not ranked in the coaches poll. He's 40-22 overall, 23-18 in conference play. Not one 10-win season on that resume either. It's oof.
Not only that, Jake, like outside of 2020, his best season at A&M was his first one. So like he's actually getting worse, because he goes 9-4, 8-5, 9-1 COVID year, down to 8-4, down to 5-7.
Yeah.
So he's actually gotten worse the longer he's been there.
Well, and cue the laughs in Jimmy Sexton track, because there's an awful way of saying that up. What I'm saying is Jimmy Sexton, Okay, I mentioned this yesterday on Snaps. You know how like
Subscribe, like.
So Walter Isaacson, incredible biographer. He's done Einstein. He's done Steve Jobs. He just dropped an Elon Musk that I'm excited to check out. I think he's actually like a Tulane professor, maybe, whatever. The point is, he's maybe the biographer of our times, and I really loved his Da Vinci biography. And in the Da Vinci biography, they talk about how Da Vinci carried the Mona Lisa with him his entire life, and he added these little, like, whatever. That was his true life's work, his magnum opus, his crown jewel. Last night on Ahsoka, I think you witnessed Dave Filoni's magnum opus. More on that later. This post-2020 extension from Jimmy Sexton is his Mona Lisa. I mean, it is beautiful, Jake. We are talking a 10-year, $90 million, fully guaranteed contract. And here's the questions that A&M has to ask themselves. So yesterday, just as a game, it said, Aaron, what do you think? What's the number A&M needs to do to buy him out? He's like, okay, well, maybe when it drops to like $30 million. When do y'all think it drops to $30 million?
I would say at least
like 2 or 3
more
years,
years,
yeah.
right?
2028.
2028.
2028.
More than I thought.
You finally break the 30 million barrier. You want to fire him this year? 76. Next year? 67. Then 58. Then 48. Then 39. And then finally to sub 30. So at this point, A&M fans legitimately have to be asking themselves, in for a penny, in for a pound, what's the difference between 67 and 76? Because you're not going to want to roll another year, are you?
No.
Not if things go as badly as they appear like they're going to go. So I think Texas A&M is legitimately having to have conversations about, do we have to pay this man $76 million not to work? That is stunning. That is truly stunning. Jimmy Sexton, you have some sort of, I don't know, just magic powers or something.
Let's look at big picture. All right, Mario, what year were you born?
94.
Okay.
96.
All right, in y'all's lifetime, they've won 1 conference championship.
Yeah, and it hadn't been in the SEC.
And it was, no. They won 1 in the Big 12 in 1998. You got to go back to 93 in the Southwest Conference before then. All right, so y'all's lifetime, y'all are grown adults 1 time, right? National championship, it's been, 84 years, actually, if they don't get it done this year. They've got everything that you need, T-Bob.
Mm-hmm.
They've got resources.
Mm-hmm.
They've got stadium, right? They've got players.
Yeah.
They've got the state of Texas to recruit to. They've paid coaches. They have desire and donors that want to be great. Oil's not a new thing. It's been around this country for a long time now. We're a young country, and it's basically been there with us the entire time.
Yeah.
Where's the disconnect? How does it not happen?
To me, they've never had the head coach. And they thought Jimbo was going to be the guy, and everything.
But like even like RC, I agree with you. I do agree. Like RC Slocum, right? In conference play in the Southwest Conference in 91, 8-0. In 92, 7-0. 93, 7-0. Going back to the last time they won it, I mean, he was the guy. It's like RC Slocum was a hell of a football coach, but he could never get them to that point.
So that's kind of like Charlie Mack, though, right? Charlie Mack at LSU,
Fair.
hell of a football coach, but just not quite that guy. Unfortunately, they thought Jimbo was that guy, like that he was.
Because he had a title on his resume.
Yes, but now, guys, if you look at the end of Jimbo's tenure at FSU, it's like, no, he hasn't been that guy in forever.
And T-Bob,
like a very large sample size that we have now.
I can't believe I'm doing this because I'm going to give Jameis Winston a ton of credit.
Yeah,
he had an incredible football player.
Hater.
He's a Jameis hater.
Hater.
I don't want him starting from an NFL team, but he was a great college quarterback. That team was great. They had Devontae Freeman. They had Kelvin Benjamin. They had Jameis, all the defensive players, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
He lost 1 game in 2 years.
Yeah.
But you take 2013 and 2014 out of the picture, he's a 10-3, 9-4 head coach, just like he's always been.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what he is.
And that's not to say, like, we don't love the game of playing, let's take out the person's best, but it is to say that we have way more sample size that's not going to be replicated.
Yeah.
That it did, all the it shouldn't take away from your resume that you created a situation where all the elements came together and you made a championship team. But A&M was hiring him because they thought he could do that consistently. And he can't do that consistently. Barely anyone can, right? But you thought maybe Jimbo was in that club, and clearly Jimbo is not. So, I mean, Jake, what do you do?
I don't know what you can do.
I mean, can you really pay a man $76 million not to work?
I don't think you can.
I think that's almost sinful.
And
I think that's morally wrong at a certain point.
It's early in the season. We're 2 weeks in, but Miami was a team last year that was a five-win football team.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like you went to this hostile environment and played against this just crowd that really made it difficult. You couldn't get your play calls in. I mean, it was half field. Okay, so like miss me with it being on the road. And it just yet again, like it didn't look like any of your team was on the same page. It just I just don't know where the disconnect is with this program, but it just continues time and time again. And like you're gonna have games in the SEC that are going to be against better competition, going to be in tougher places to play. I just don't have faith that you're going to turn it around, is I guess my point.
Yeah.
And all right, so we always see it, and I give you the example all the time. In North Turner's last year in San Diego, he knew it. He knew that it like that was the year, and there was brand new coaches, there was new players. Like really, the only constant was Phillip and Antonio Gates. Everybody else kind of around them changed. They tried to make all these changes because they realized, man, we got to go for broke. We do.
Yeah.
We have to go for broke, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, we're gone anyway. And that's what Bobby Petrino coming in feels like.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know that was the best hire. In fact, I know in my heart, I know it was not the best hire. If you were going to make the move to bring in an offensive coordinator, there was 10 other names that I think make more sense than bringing in Bobby Petrino. And it's not all Bobby Petrino's fault, but it just you went for the outside the box, like I'm swinging for the fences because like it feels like that was your last chance. But then you go to the buyout money, T-Bob, and I don't know that they had to take that chance and have those kind of like wholesale changes like you have and if it's your last year.
So I think the hire is interesting as well, though, Jake, because while there were better hires out there, I do think that Texas A&M kind of gave off, the stench of death, like your Star Trek red shirt, or like whenever you're watching any movie and a random crew member joins the squad, doesn't have a name, but they're going on the mission with all the named characters.
Yeah.
Who ends up dying? Okay, like every single time, So it was a job where it made sense for Petrino trying to break back into the big leagues, but maybe some of the hotter candidates I may wait on this. I think if I'm A&M, I just go full goofy. I'll do it again, and I buy out Jimbo and I pay Prime $200 million. 200. Let's go full prisoner of the moment. 200 million to Prime. Do it, Jimmy. Is Jimmy's Prime's agent?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, Jimmy represents everyone.
Yeah.
It does feel like there. I don't know. Man, it's
What, Taylor, you don't approve my 200 million to Prime? 20
Look,
years,
if A&M
200
wants
million.
to do that, I'd love for him to do it. No, I was just looking at Florida State after Fisher left. Like, we're talking about how he's getting worse at A&M. His worst season at Florida State was his last season.
Yeah. He quit on him. Like
Willie Taggart had 2 bad years, and you're like, okay, well, that was a bad hire. As good as Norvell is, it took Norvell to year 3 to have a respectable record. That's how bad a shape Jimbo left that program.
Jimbo's last year, they were in the Independence Bowl.
Yeah, they went 5-7.
He pieced out. He was like,
well, and then
that gif where the kid disappears.
Norvell comes in, he goes 3-6, he goes 5-7. 10-3 last year, and now he's 2-0. So he's just now starting to build back up whatever Jimbo left behind.
Okay, we got to go to break. More.
Hey,
ODB
real
next.
quick,
Okay.
real quick. R.C. Slocum did not know this. 3-1, great. Okay, now we can go to break.
Oh, okay,
All
there
right,
we
shout out
go.
R.C. Say now.
More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
KZBlinds.com is the website for all of your custom window coverings. Jake, today's the day, huh?
Today is the day. How about this? Like, Brandon lets me know, like, hey, we have an appointment set. He's like, hey, I might be like 3 minutes late. Like, that's the kind of customer service. Like, hey, I might be 3 minutes past the time, and reach out to you, let you know exactly what's going on. That is true customer service. That is local customer service. And so today is the day, T-Bob. They're coming out, giving us exactly an idea of what we can do for our backyard space. I am very fired up for it because Katie and Harlow, they sit out there all the time with the dog, and now we can protect them from UV rays and from those bugs that always kind of get into them.
Yes, blinds, shuttered, shades, drapery. He mentioned Brandon. Take advantage of Brandon Barton's 25 years of work in the window treatments industry, okay? Louisiana owned and operated. K to Z window covering, KTOZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Brian Kelly and Zach Arnett update their team's preparations. We'll talk to Russ Mitchell, and we'll check in on the Carolina Panthers. Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
.1045 ESPN Radio Baton Rouge, along with Acura Baton Rouge, are teaming up to honor our military and raise funds for Folds of Honor. This nonprofit organization provides scholarships to the spouses and children of soldiers who were killed or disabled in service. To donate to this important cause, visit our website at 1045ESPN.com. Everyone who makes a donation will be entered to win exclusive prizes, Folds of Honor to honor their sacrifice and educate their legacy.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Huge separating factor for Little League offensive line play. If you have a kid who's playing offensive line, one of the most base, easy things you can teach them that no little kid knows just naturally. Let's say I have to block a linebacker. Don't run to where they are. Run to where they're going to be. Yeah. And that sounds laughable. But you don't really think about it until you're kind of in it. And so, tell your kid, okay, if you know the play is going left, aim in front of him. Lead him. And then you'll end up the same way, and bam.
Look, I got a family of, it looks like left tackles and edge rushers. And so
yeah, you do got a lot of linemen.
I'm leaning on T-Bob and Big Fave, baby.
Hell yeah.
Offense and defensive line. Look, hey, Dad played Nurgle, little nose guard in high school, too. He's a junior, but it was the old frog stance, the old 4-point frog stance.
Hell yeah. Big Fave, now there's an actual trainer. Like, he can get you right. I can do enough for little league O-linemen, for sure, though.
Yeah, but Big Fave out there trying to teach O-linemen. Man, you ain't never kick-stepped in your life.
It's crazy. I've been doing a lot of boxing in my garage lately because I've reached that point in my dadhood where you just start working out in your garage. Which kind of cracks me up, makes me feel very old. But it is shocking how similar the footwork is in pass blocking and boxing.
Yeah.
Because you have that kick step, your post step in. It's like... Again, so maybe you're a young lineman, you want to do something fun in the offseason, take some boxing classes. I think it would actually improve.
We used to work with, actually, former LSU head coach for a game, Hal Hunter, was our offensive line coach in San Diego, and we were on the punt protection, and we used to work with him, like on kick slides and stuff.
So, the old line coach. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's shockingly similar in terms of timing and function, only kind of little slight differences.
Did you see Will Compton, who was on the Rich Eisen show, and he was talking about, before he retired, he was talking about getting ready, and he's always ready, and he did like a punt protection kick step, like on air, like got up, and was like, this intimidates you? It should.
Hey, war daddy.
Yes, he was.
You don't make it 10 years in the league without being a war daddy.
Doesn't wrestling help with that kind of thing too? Like, I remember
wrestling is great. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I remember the Brother Martin coaches like encouraging people to wrestle, but if they played another sport other than football that wasn't wrestling, they would get upset.
No, wrestling is great for offensive line play because a lot of it is, it's a ton of body control, a ton of technique, a ton of hand play that will carry over, but it just pure pass blocking footwork and boxing, that is like pretty 1-to-1. It's kind of, it's again, I find it to be pretty shocking. But no, wrestling, like the best wrestlers, like if I want my center to have been a former Iowa wrestler. In fact, one of the most legendary Saints centers, the Saints Hall of Famer Joe Hilgenberg, weighed 275, and he was pretty good at run blocking, but he was unbeatable pass blocking Iowa wrestler. Yeah. He had a body control, understanding of leverage, hand placement, that, a ton of carryover there.
Nick Hardwick, our center, I want to say he might have wrestled at Purdue. I think he actually went to Purdue to wrestle and then walked on the football team later. And Nick was never he was always kind of underweight and tried to stay up in his weight. But my God, when he got his hands on you, it was over.
Hilgenberg used to weigh in with 5-pound weights in his girdle to not get fined.
I allegedly maybe sort of did that one time as
well. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 2.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website. 925-8552 is the number. And what do? I'm going to give you a guess. Use context clues.
What do they do? I can't get there.
Plumbing.
There
Plumbing.
You
Yep.
I was
Samsonite.
right there. Yep.
Right there. So if your pipes go awry, your toilet won't flush, your water heater breaks down, whatever the case may be, Central Plumbing's been at it for 5 decades. Take advantage of that experience. Take advantage of the flat rate pricing, the customer service, the licensed bond insured employees. Take advantage of Central Plumbing.
Yeah, and you can take advantage of them anytime. Hold up. I'm going to get there. Because they are open 24/7, 365. Okay? 225-925-8552, right? That means anytime. Holidays, weekends, whatever it might be. During an LSU game. Yeah, they're still going to come out, right? Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Sandigrove joined me and Jimmy out for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Scott Rabelais, Randy McKay, and Wes Reynolds all with us. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Has anybody seen this Mexican alien story?
Wait, what?
I'm just getting wind of this right now. But straight up, there are 2 alleged alien corpses from Peru.
Okay, yeah.
That are said to be 1,000 years old.
Yeah. We'll dive into the data on that.
That were shown under oath yesterday to Mexican Congress.
Wait, where were they found?
They were found in Peru. Again, I just scanned this story because I saw the video because somebody's like, they really revealed alien corpses in Mexican Congress yesterday and nobody really cares.
They found them in Peru.
That's my question.
But now they're going to Mexico. It's 2 different countries.
Yeah, why was the Mexican Congress dealing with Peruvian
different
stuff?
I mean, one's North America, one's South America.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like maybe not their duty.
I think they've had it for
Okay, so the Mexican government, it was found in Peru, but they, I guess, have had these corpses for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I can't comment on it yet. Like I need to.
I love that we're asking T-Bob questions and important. He's reading the story.
I know, right? But If I had to guess, no, I think that okay, remember how when we had the UFO hearing in US Congress the other day, they were like, "Can you give us a list of names of who should be called up here to talk and all this stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll give it to you." Like, right. I imagine this is similar. And so basically some people were called to testify in front of Mexican Congress, and they brought out what looked like movie alien skeletons. Have you seen these pictures, Taylor? Bring them up.
So I have one. Look, T-Bob, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. That would be the guy to my right here.
Yeah.
This looks like E.T. Like,
no,
this
I
has to be fake.
I know.
This has to be fake.
I know. I agree, and you know me, I am a skeptic.
That has to be
I am
fake.
a skeptic, so we need to do more reading. All I'm saying is, first pass, it is being reported that, all of this was done under oath in front of an actual Congress. This is not like a live stream from, like, I don't know, like from somebody's house or something.
That's the thing, though. It looks like, remember that Dobby-like figure that came out a couple years ago, like in front of that person's garage? It looks like that.
I don't remember. Wait, you're telling me that they caught Dobby on film?
Yes, we can bring it up next segment, but yeah, there was
and it's real footage.
Yes, and some people are saying it was just the sun walking weird. Like, there are other plausible explanations for it, but this alien corpse that we're looking at right now does kind of look like the Dobby.
Mario, that's E.T., bro.
No. I mean, it's actually more kind of like maybe a little more Mars Attacks. It's kind of just actually like your stereotypical alien, which is kind of one of the funniest parts about it all, which kind of makes me doubt it. Or should it make you believe it? Because it just means that our own interpretations of alien, artistic interpretations, are inspired by something that's deeper and locked away in our memory, right?
Or something that was seen 1,000 years ago, and then the lore was told what they look like, and some saw that 1,000 years ago, and just.
And then so
it doesn't get lost in
it.
the old telephone Pictionary, whatever that game's called. I don't know. I got that wrong.
It's Adam Silver's parents. Hello.
Mr. Mouse had told attendees the specimens have been studied by scientists at the Autonomous National University of Mexico, who were able to draw DNA and evidence using radiocarbon dating. After comparisons were made to other DNA samples, it was found that over 30% of the specimen's DNA was unknown. What? One of the experts testifies under oath that the thing had eggs inside. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to explore this a bit further.
If only Matt Flynn would have been here.
Hour 3 of OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel like an alien to yourself because of how good you're going to feel? You want to go to Rejuve Me, okay? If you have andropause, menopause, just energy, man. You just don't have anymore like you used to. When you used to roll out of bed, young, chipper, your proud chest puffed out, and now you're old, dour, tired, grumpy. Literally all of this can be helped at Rejuve Me Medical. You don't have to go through this thing alone. You don't have to just age naturally. You can do upkeep on your body. There's ways to treat yourself, to make yourself feel like your best self. Rejuvenate that youthful feeling at Rejuve Me Medical.
Yeah, go to RejuveMeMedical.com, get your consultation set up, because we tell you every single day about things they can help you with, but they can't help you if you don't go in and get that blood work done. Go ahead, do yourself a favor, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound colors and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Wednesday, September 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We have been breaking down Mississippi State LSU coming up this weekend. We declared Alabama trending downwards, not done. Declared A&M super done. And we have debated the veracity of some claims when it comes to Mexican aliens. I will say, after a full commercial break of studying the matter, my skepticism bells are once again ringing very large here, Jake.
Okay.
So the guy presenting these findings is a self-described, he's kind of like an alien hunter, but he's been at this for a while. Back in 2017, he also presented mummified remains that he claimed to be of alien origin, only then to find out that no, they were indeed human. So he's been chasing this ghost for a minute. He does have some things that sound credible, I believe. Like, he's saying, look, these didn't come from a crashed UFO site or anything, and the DNA, 70% of it does make sense.
Right.
So he's kind of purporting more that, and they were discovered in some mines where they'd been calcified. So he's kind of purporting that these were just some species of being that used to exist here on Earth that existed, alongside human beings, and then maybe went extinct, and that could be believable if these things were real. But again, his own past and him kind of calling himself a self-described ufologist, that That again, skepticism bells are ringing. Because like, what was the only thing about the hearing in the U.S. that surprised me is that the people that were talking under oath about how, hey, look, something weird happened, are people who have completely legitimate resumes, right? Like former leaders of some of the premier fighter pilot groups in the entire country, like guys who, if you saw their resume independently of why we were talking about them, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a credible person. His resume is obviously a bit more spotty. So I guess the next thing I want to know is how legit is the National Autonomous University of Mexico, right? Because it sounds not great. Now the website looks very good. It sounds not great, but that's where all the science for this is coming out of, right? Those are the scientists from that university who are saying that the DNA is 30% different. Right. That the scans show that one has eggs inside. The scans also show they had some sort of kind of rare metal implants made of osmium and whatnot. So, yeah, again, I feel like this is all a bit.
Yeah,
But,
not feeling like this one is one that we're gonna hear anything else about.
But let's cross-reference it with, in the name of science, with the Dobby tape. Do we have the Dobby tape ready to roll? Mario, when did this video come out? Give us some background here. Do you know?
This was like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Like not super long ago, but not super recently either. Definitely like kind of modern era.
All right, let's see this. And this is purported to be a real video of some.
Yeah, outside somebody's garage.
So off the bat here, bro, that really does look like Dobby. Off the bat here, that just kind of looks fake to me. So we're like 1,000% sure this has not been debunked as fake anywhere on the internet.
It hasn't been totally.
Like actual like digital. I'm saying like there's no like CGI or digital experts that said that this is a deep fake. I mean, look, these are the games that are going to get tougher and tougher to play, right? As technology improves and stuff becomes more and more real looking. But like, all I guess I'm saying, if I saw this on Instagram, my immediate reaction would be like, ooh, that's interesting, but that's obviously fake.
No, it supports what we were just talking about, that the alien corpse was a little too Hollywood to be believable.
Damn, the thing's hyped for some reason. He's like,
that looks like Memphis in a Halloween costume walking out. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, I remember one of the debunking theories was it was the kid that lives there with underwear on his head. Like he's wearing a pair of underwear on his head.
I mean,
Quill Man.
It's not. I'm not saying that it couldn't be a human. I just don't think it looks real. Like I don't think the entire thing looks digital to me.
Fair enough.
But maybe I'm wrong though. You know. Okay, Daniel Basham says Corridor Crew debunked it. So there you go. So it has been proven to be special.
Shout out, Daniel.
If OTB were hobbits, who would be Bilbo? I don't know. I don't think I want to be Bilbo or Frodo. I think I want to be, or Sam. I think I want to be one of the hobbits that just stays in the Shire and just like drinks and eats and smokes pipe weed and doesn't have to worry about anything. Well, in the books, I guess it gets a little bit different, but yeah, I think I'd rather be the hobbits that don't go on the grand adventure. I just want to be like a farmer or a nobleman.
Like Master Roshi, DBZ. Just chill.
I'll be the town crier, you know? Just the equivalent of sports talk, but for the Shire. Just spread the news of the day in the town square. So y'all can have Bilbo, even though I love Sam. Sam is my favorite.
Yeah. I would default to you in any of this conversation.
Yeah, I'd have to think long and hard about this. I would say Jake is probably the most Bilbo-like in that he did have a yearning for adventure, very tenacious, a reserve of will and the ability to finish the job. Really the only creature ever to willingly give up the ring after spending that much time with it. I mean, even Frodo didn't give it up at the end. It took a twist of fate with Gollum biting his finger off to do it. So, I would think you would probably be the best Bilbo.
Okay. I'll take that.
T-Bob Proudfoot. Yes, I agree.
It sounds good for you. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Never seen Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
I've seen the first one like years ago.
Okay, so you know Bilbo Baggins.
No.
Oh, have you seen the first one and don't know Bilbo Baggins?
When I mean years ago, I mean I was like 8, and I never saw it again. So no, I don't know who that is.
Also, even the movies, you're not going to get the full breadth of how badass Bilbo actually is, and the Hobbit movies don't do the best job of it because they decided to make it a Thorin story instead of a Bilbo story. Taylor, I don't know that I'm going to allow you to continue to work on the show unless you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's one of the greatest, if not the greatest trilogy that's
I
ever been
remember
created.
liking the movie. I just don't remember the specifics of it, like the original.
Do you remember fact that Return of the King went 11 for 11 at the Oscars, including Best Picture?
Which
Best
one
Director?
of the trilogy is that?
The third one.
The third one.
So if you imagine that, finishing strong. I mean, the whole thing overall probably won close to 30 Oscars. Are you? All right. It's okay. It's okay.
I just don't know the characters' names. Like I'm familiar with it.
No, I know.
Legolas.
I know.
Favorite character for me.
Nah, I know who that was. He was Orlando
Legolas?
Bloom.
Which one?
He was
Okay.
Orlando Bloom. He had the long blonde hair.
Okay.
I remember like some of the
What is
characters.
Legolas? Tell me. I want to play this game actually because it's kind of funny.
I don't remember.
Tell me
like,
what do you know about Legolas? Describe
he was great
Legolas
with the
to
bow
me.
and arrow.
Okay,
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I saw it just a long
Was
time
he
ago.
human?
I mean, was he something like half human, kind of?
What if you have pointy ears?
What would you be if you were a Browns
elf,
fan?
right?
Hey,
What?
Like an elf.
Yes, he's an elf.
Okay. There we go.
Describe Gimli.
I don't know which one Gimli is.
Frodo.
Yeah, that was Elijah Wood's character, right?
Yep. Describe a hobbit. Like, give me some of the
Wasn't it
characteristics of a
Frodo-
hobbit.
Was he a hobbit himself?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was a hobbit. Nothing.
I don't know how to describe
Pointy
it.
ears, big hairy feet. They're like 3.5 feet
Yeah,
tall.
it's like shorter. I knew that.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I agree, Nookie. He says, T-Bob calling HR now to have them do a investigation of Taylor.
Who hired this man?
Look, I remembered more than I thought. I told you I saw it a long time ago.
I know. Which, again, I saw it a long time ago, too, in 2001, 11 years old, and it blew me away. In fact, this dovetails perfectly into what I wanted to talk about with Ahsoka, where I can't make any guarantees that anybody is going to watch this Ahsoka series and experience what I did last night because, you know, I don't know what your history with Star Wars is or whatever, so it doesn't really matter. But I just hope that you all can find something in your life that made me feel the way that I felt watching that show last night. That was 50 minutes of Star Wars magic last night, of just pure myth making of the highest form, independent of Star Wars, just ancient storytelling art combined with all the modern prowess of technology. I felt as if I was a giant walking goosebump. Like my hair was on fire. That's a phrase that I've used like a few times in my life. One of it, first time I saw Fellowship of the Ring. The first time I ever heard an excerpt of Harry Potter. It was Scholastic Book Fair week. I'm sitting there in the library, and this woman reads us an excerpt from Sorcerer's Stone, and she ends with, "You're a wizard, Harry." And it blew me away. Watching A New Hope. Like there's been a handful of times where I felt it last night during that Ahsoka episode. Like I said, Dave Filoni's magnum opus, A+ production values. I mean, the cinematography, the music, the sound design. Dave Filoni, every single shot, a composition, a painting in and of itself. Well acted, great classic storytelling, just on fire. But the point of it all, that's how I felt watching Fellowship the first time, as well as 11 years old. So I'm shocked that you didn't feel more of that as a
Look, you'll be happy to know that I've seen one more Star Wars movie than I have Lord of the Rings. I've seen 2 Star Wars movies.
So this is the thing. I love the Star Wars movies. That's not a requirement to work on the show.
But Lord of the Rings is.
Yes.
Mario, have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, when I was like 12, I saw the whole thing.
Yeah, you saw all of them.
When you were 12?
Yes.
It counts. You are going to have to find a spare 12 hours. Because we're
So
gonna
I
need to
have
get
to
you
watch
caught up,
all.
I
So
guess.
like, you're not giving me crap for seeing it a long time ago, because so did he. It's only because I only saw the first one.
Well, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, that's incredibly stupid. So no, we're gonna need you to. And look, you know what? You can even break it up like a TV show nowadays if you wanted to, right? I could give you some break points if you just don't want to sit down and watch a movie a night because they are about 3 hours long each.
Spark notes, Taylor.
I'm not gonna make you do extended edition because again, I want you to get theatrical. Then you can do extended after you get into it and become obsessed and rewatch them. But yeah, you're not allowed to watch another Netflix sports documentary until you watch Lord of the Rings.
This will actually work okay because like I don't think my wife's ever seen any of the Lord of the Rings, so like we could actually watch it for the first time. So it'll actually work okay.
Okay, so this is your commitment then, an on-air commitment.
Okay, but you gotta like.
I'm gonna give you time. I'm not giving you just this weekend. You have weeks to do it, but I'm going to need, and you might want to have a phone. You know, I want you to pay attention, but you might want to have some sort of thing to jot down a couple thoughts on. Because I'm going to want you to explain what you actually like.
One movie at a time?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't want all three. No, well,
I want you to appreciate every one of them.
Yes, I want you to savor. We'll watch Fellowship.
Again, I remember liking the first one. I think
Bebop and I even disagree on our favorite because that's how good they are. Like we appreciate them. I'm Two Towers. I think you're Return of the King.
Well, no, I think Return of the King is incredible because it's so hard to finish a story. But I'm always a sucker for the origin. So again, Hair on Fire, that's how I felt watching Fellowship. So that will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like being a little kid the first time I saw New Hope and you open and you're in the space battle and there's droids and you're on a desert planet and finally about 20, 30 minutes into the movie, you have this kind of respite where they're flying on the Millennium Falcon, and even though they're hurtling through space and I was just exposed to all these things I've never seen before, they're acting like they might as well be on like a 6-hour road trip. You know, and there was something about that mundanity amongst the insanity that just like locked in with me. And so in the same way, Fellowship, it's the intro. It's like Sorcerer's Stone is my favorite Harry Potter book to go reread or movie to rewatch. Something about that first time that I just can't quite escape.
I think I'm at the point now. So next, like school holiday, the boys get, because you can't do it during the school year, but we're going to sit down, and I think they would enjoy watching.
Oh, they're at the perfect age.
Knox has already kind of seen them because, you know, Knox
He's a real one.
Is certainly into a lot of things T-Bob's into. But, yeah, I'd like to sit down and watch it.
So, Taylor, again, there's not too strict. I mean, I don't want this thing to stretch out too long. Give you a month maybe. But... yeah, you're going to need to watch each one, and then let me know when you finish each one, and I'm going to expect, not like a book report, but I do want thoughts. I'm going to make you,
I think we should make Mario as well. Mario's kind of leaned back and quiet away from his mic, hoping you don't call on him.
Taylor bitched about it.
I did not. I said I enjoyed it.
Okay. Mario has kind of snuck through this with a simple, I watched it when I was 12.
He leaned back in his chair away from his mic, hoping, please don't call on me. Please don't call on me.
It's okay. Look, I have logins to all the streamings.
Okay, which one is the worst one of the series?
I think theatrical, actually, ironically, I mean, the one that reviewed the worst, I mean, they all still got A's, but like the A- was Two Towers.
That's the second one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, but it also has, I mean, one of the most legendary extended action set pieces of all time. So like, it's unbelievable.
All right, I enjoyed that.
I do remember liking Harry Potter better than Lord of the Rings. That's my one kind of.
Hey, I need you to get out of your chair, walk down that hallway, walk down the stairs, and just don't come back.
That's cool. I had to pee anyway.
See, I didn't say that. I'm not dissing Lord of the Rings. I just don't know much about it.
Look, Harry Potter's fine.
Harry Potter's solid. And I like the books, especially. And the movies are pretty good, but no. Now, I do have a real appreciation for that first Harry Potter movie, Sorcerer's Stone, especially. Like, Chris Columbus really popped off. It's the Home Alone director, actually. He really popped off with that one. But no. Peter Jackson was channeling the divine when he made this movie.
Make it a long lap.
Make it a long lap. There you go, Mac Lindsay. Hell yeah, dude. All right, Taylor. So what's today's date? September 13th? You better
October
get to work.
the 15th.
Yeah, October the 15th.
Nice little right in the middle of the month.
So no scary movies even for you until you get this.
I have that. The first one, October 15th.
No. 3 movies.
No, 3 movies.
Bro, you don't have kids.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't care. I don't care how much you work. I don't want to hear about your dog. I don't care. Look at me. I don't care. You're watching these 3 movies by October 15th.
I don't care about your dog. That was so cute. It's a cute dog.
Prisoner of Azkaban's great. I mean, look, all the Harry Potter movies, I like them all. Some are better than others. I'm just saying, like the Hobbit movies. You know, they're okay. They're probably even less than the Harry Potter. They're all right. There's some good parts in them. The Lord of the Rings movies are a masterpiece. True movie making magic. I mean, don't you realize you'll finally be in on the memes? Isn't that always the great part about discovering new fandom as well? Suddenly all these memes you see make more sense.
I feel like I don't see them. Well, then again, maybe I just don't know that it's a Lord of the Rings
That's true.
meme.
My algorithm serves me up a lot of Lotra memes. That's fair.
My kind of blind spot there, and y'all know this, and I'm in the minority. It is me. It is not all of you, because I'm the only one. Well, me and my wife. I don't watch The Office. I've tried 7 different times. I've tried. It's not funny to me, and I get why you think it's funny. I get it. Trust me, I do.
I'm actually with you.
I don't think it's funny.
Wow, 2 that don't like The Office in the same.
All the memes, and the gifs, like I see them all. Yeah. And like I know the show through that now, so like I know all the funny parts like from that, and so like I get that. Like I see them all the time. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what episode this is from.
I'm not someone who like comfort watches The Office, but I mean, I remember watching every episode at the time, and I thought it was hilarious.
I think Parks and Rec's funnier.
This has got to be one of the only rooms in America in which 50% of the people don't think The Office is funny.
Mario, do you like The Office?
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, Trey says, seriously, no kids. He should be able to knock this out easy before next week at this point. Yeah. And I hate being the kids judging no kids guy, but sometimes you have to become what we hate to accomplish our goals. And so you're lucky that I even gave you a month, Taylor.
Look,
okay?
we'll see what my Sunday looks like for the first one.
Sunday's a great day to do it. Well, no, not on football Sunday. It might be kind of tough.
Yeah, but Saturday's bad too.
No,
though.
I know, but break it up. You don't even have to watch them all in one go unless you get hooked. Like there are some nice break points. Like I could break it up into basically hour and a half long episodes if you wanted. So let me know. More OTB coming next. Very long.
OTB, OT.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McCartney, injury attorney, 225-888-8888, 225-888-8888. Welcome to the Player Aiders Ball.
Oh, God, great episode.
There's something to be done there. There's some sort of
Yeah,
good
there
ad
is.
hook there. We just got to find it. Lucky for you, when you get an accident, you can find it. That is the help that you need by going to Get Gordon, 225-888-8888. Get somebody who's going to fight for you, win for you in the courtroom, get you what you deserve.
It's 9:20, so maybe you're already at work. Probably, chances are you're already at work and you can't pick up the phone, you can't call. That's okay, because you can go to the website, getgordon.com, and right there on that site, you can have a chat with them. Let them know what you're looking for, what you're looking to do. They can help you. But if you can't pick up that phone, like T-Bob said, it's whatever your area code is in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm remembering what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. It's always a What If Wednesday. We'll have J.D. Piquel of 0-3 talking college football and SEC power rankings. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Do you feel the buzz or is it just me? Trust me, something in the air just above me. Something like a dream state, you call it a clean break. Do you feel the buzz, baby? Do you feel the buzz?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester. OTB, OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTB. I have nothing else to say. I was just saying
we did come up with a little thing we're going to do here in studio. So Taylor is going to pick a movie franchise for T-Bob to watch. T-Bob has already picked Lord of the Rings for Taylor to watch. Mario's going to pick one for me. I'm going to pick one for Mario. And so I will enjoy that. We'll have to come back and have a little report.
I'm going to say that I'm not doing my watching until after football season.
Yeah. Certainly if he picks like...
So it's going to be a long time.
Fast and Furious. That's 10 deep.
Well, but also, I've seen through Tokyo Drift, so I don't feel the need really
you're 3 down.
Revisit those necessarily. Because also, like, everything changes after Tokyo Drift. Right? That's where you start.
You know what doesn't change, though?
Family.
Family
never changes. Always got to be there for each other.
I just got to see, like, T-Bob watches a lot of movies, so I got to figure out which franchises he hasn't seen yet. Like, that's my
I've never seen past John Wick 1 either.
Which,
that would be a loop I'd
that's
love to
troublesome.
Close. I got to catch up on Mission Impossible. I love Mission
Impossible. That's also an issue. Mario, I don't know where your mind is because you're a fan of the movie D3, so I'm a little nervous of what you're going to make me watch, but we got to do it.
I'm gonna cook something up. It's either gonna be something with a conspiracy or just something really dumb that I find really funny, and there's 0% chance that you're gonna find it as funny.
Yeah.
The funniest dumb movies are as follows. Basketball would definitely be in that grouping.
Yeah.
Not Another Teen Movie would be in that grouping.
It's a good one.
Man, this is bad, and this is a poor reflection on me. Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah. Dude, Where My Car is a classic, good, dumb movie. I would say Beer Fest.
Yeah.
For me,
I like
classic,
Beer
good,
Fest might be
dumb
my
movie.
favorite.
I like the comebacks. It's a sports version of, like, the scary movies. It's a good one.
I don't know
good
the
one.
comebacks.
There's a good Mandela Effect movie that was on Hulu a couple years ago.
It's called Mandela Effect, or you're saying there's some thought about it that we don't think is true?
The name of the movie is Mandela Effect, and the subject is a guy experiencing the Mandela Effect and kind of exposing the conspiracy behind it.
I thought the Mandela Effect wasn't like some sort of codified conspiracy. I thought it was just like we believe something about something that isn't true, and you're like, oh, no, that's not true.
But some people believe it's false memories because we're really in a simulation.
Oh, like we got implanted with false memories.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all see the robots at the Chargers game, like promoting some movie?
No.
Or something? We'll have to look that up and hit it maybe before we get out of here today. It's a great flestering topic, so maybe we can even save it for when Matt Flynn actually shows up. He sent us a picture of traffic like Ronnie Ranch used to do. Ronnie would send me the same picture of traffic from Denham when he was supposed to be here. Like, I think he had it saved in his phone. He'd send me this picture like he was in Denham Springs, and the show would be like 7 minutes from start time. And then he'd make it like 3 to 4 minutes into the show. I'm like, you did not get from where you were to here, and it looks like the same exact picture that you sent me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think Flynn might have pulled
today,
the same thing.
In Flynn's defense, if you screenshot today's traffic breakdown on your phone, I would say keep that in the photo gallery because you can use it. I mean, it was bad. It was pretty awful out there today. Screw you, whoever I'm sure crashed somewhere on the interstate and ruined everybody's morning.
But we hope you're okay.
Yeah, for sure. My bad.
The guy riding on his way to the hospital right now.
Right.
Like, screw you.
I'm sorry.
What's he say on no, y'all have seen Bruce Almighty, right? When he's late for work because of traffic.
Never
seen that. He's like, this is my luck. This is my luck. And the guy's in an accident. He's on like a stretcher next to him. He's like, this is my luck.
I mean, I did catch myself yelling at people that weren't doing anything but just like following normal traffic laws.
I do that a lot.
Like I'm on a single lane road. There's nothing you can do. And I'm
I
like,
do that a lot.
What are you doing, you idiot? I'm like, whatever, T-Bob, shut up. Airplane was dumb but brilliant, said Joey. Naked Gun was a good dumb movie, says Brian Burgess.
Oh, yeah.
Young Frankenstein, says Daniel Basham. Pet Detective.
Yep, all of those.
Super Troopers, Step Brothers,
Yes.
Blades of Glory.
Super Troopers. That whole crew, I mean, the movies they were putting out there.
They had Super Troopers.
Step
and
Brothers
Beer
is
Fest were
hilarious. I don't even know that that's like that falls into the same
Step
category.
Brothers is a little tougher to say dumb funny when Adam McKay has gone on to make things like The Big Short and other like really serious, like very good stuff. And
Yeah, I don't think it falls quite into the category we're talking about.
Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly both have. I mean,
We're thinking like parody movies, like
yeah,
something
almost
that are
like,
yeah.
Epic
Almost
movie.
like a joke that they made it, but it's funny.
But then what about something like Talladega Nights? Is that dumb funny?
That kind of is a parody.
That feels more dumb funny.
I feel like Will Ferrell's an exception to all of this. Jesus, man, you good?
Hold on now, Mario. I know you ain't talking about somebody making a loud, random noise.
I know, but that just sounded a little
Mario
sickly.
will make the most, like if Mario's in the restroom sometimes and he's not feeling well,
Yeah,
you
it's
can hear it from here through these like
And
double
we're
pane
talking,
walls.
no, we're not talking like anything gastrointestinally. We're talking about like like a crazy gag.
It's just me stretching. My girlfriend calls it Mario stretching.
So you just give out like guttural yells when you hit a good
It's supposed
stretch?
to. I mean, don't they explain that to y'all with like dropping weights and stuff? When you let out sound, you kind of let out energy. You're
Yeah,
supposed
no.
to.
Like when you lift weights, yes. Like if you're doing a bench press and you go, like you can like definitely like you can get extra juice out of correct breathing and. But I'm saying, I've always thought of stretching as a more, calm, flowy, let's get this thing out sort of feel. So where does the yelling come in? Just to get the. Is it a natural thing? You just feel it bubbling up inside of you?
Yeah, it just helps me feel more stretched out.
Okay.
It's really awkward when I'm on the second floor and do it and people are in the hallway.
I bet it is.
But y'all are kind of used to it.
We are.
What's the most like public place you've ever done it?
Like the mall.
Stretching, of course.
I'll never forget doing it at my ex-girlfriend's apartment one time, and her cousin came out the room and was like, "Are you okay?"
Well, yeah, there was one time the first time I ever heard it, like we were
we were
panicked.
concerned. We were a little concerned. We thought that something had maybe happened to you.
I just like imagine Mario just like casually standing in line for coffee, and then he's just like,
I don't think
and
that's
everybody like turns.
unique to me. A lot of people do that.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you know what? Sometimes I will hit like a good like, like one of those. So I guess it's kind of in the same
Just
vein.
a little
Just-
more
just-
extreme.
Yeah, just a little more
Just
extreme.
add like a shubaya or something.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Now we're
wow,
speaking in tongues.
Anyway,
Tropic Thunder, another one that I don't think I'd put Tropic Thunder in dumb funny. Tropic
Somebody
Thunder has
mentioned
a little
Hot
too much
Shots
smart funny. Yeah,
in
Hot
Trilogy,
Shots
which
and
is a
Hot
good
Shots
one.
Part 2 are both.
Yeah.
I mean, the name Hot Shots Part 2 is really stupid.
white chicks.
Yes, White Chicks would be absolutely dumb funny.
Yes.
Also, saw that movie with my mom. I remember back in the day. We both loved it, but what a weird time. Don't know if you can make White Chicks anymore.
See Adam in the chat does Mario stretching.
Okay. There you go, dude. Looks like, we're the a-holes.
Mm-hmm. Always happen.
What about when you stretch your a-hole?
All right. All right.
What?
All right.
Doesn't take as much movement. So no.
Where do we put Borat and Bruno?
I thought Bruno too was freaking hilarious with
There's a second one.
Giuliani in it. Yes,
They
it's
are
so funny.
They are. See, even those aren't really as much dumb funny because there is like a deep level of kind of intelligent satire behind a lot of what.
There's a lot of
Sacha Baron Cohen does.
lot of lawsuits against Sasha too from that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be hard to put in that category.
Kind of a weird time too, because I don't know if you can get away with that nowadays because the internet, so everybody knows everything, right? But like those like frat kids back in the day who had like Borat on their bus and were being like very openly problematic at the time, but he didn't really think of it maybe that way at that time. Like they didn't mind saying that stuff on camera. Like you would never be dumb enough to say that stuff on camera nowadays unless you're an angry Alabama fan in the stands after Texas beats you by 10 at home. Which I hope that dude, whoever voice it is on the TikTok that I'm referencing, I hope you get in a lot of trouble. I know you're probably crapping bricks knowing that it's you on that tape and knowing how many millions of people have heard that audio and want to find out who it is on that tape. All right. When we get back, more off the bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. The dealership's so nice. We talk about it twice per show, but that's because they're huge supporters of Off the Bench, okay? And we want you to support those who support us, and that's All Star Toyota. So if you want to go to the website and start to explore some of the great deals that they have, the selection of both new and Toyota certified used inventory that they have right there on site, you can do that. You can also order a car from the site if you're so inclined. But I would say go to Airline Highway and see the people, because it's the people that make the difference. All-Star Toyota, Baton Rouge.
Once you go to the website, you can click on New and you can click on Build a Toyota. Now remember, you can add any feature that you want. You can make it look like the Murdered Out Mini if you want to, but you also can take away options. If it's something that you don't think you or your family will use, like you customize it to whatever you want it to be, and you can do that right there on the site. You can always go in the dealership and do it as well. Check out the homepage, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps. Your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there in the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance.
Tune in this Sunday for our noon kickoff. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Immediately following that, the New York Jets will travel to the Dallas Cowboys. And then our nightcap, the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. Catch all 3 of those games here on 104.5 ESPN.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back to this. Geez, turn down that song.
It was the wrong version of the song I wanted to play. I'm sorry.
That song into space. I don't want to ever hear that song again.
Take that song to you down the stairs.
Oh my God. Wow, it just threw me off. Welcome back to this kind of pseudo hour of Flestering. Look, guys, I didn't plan to get hit with Mexican aliens at 8:50. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you here. I can't control these sorts of things. I guess literally I could, since we kind of do control it. So
but I feel
with that,
I feel you. I'm with you.
yeah, I mean, come on, you can't just put 2 Mexican skeletons in front of Mexico's Congress and not expect me to get excited about.
Right.
When they come from Machu Picchu.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I still got to figure out exactly what. Oh, they didn't technically come from Machu Picchu. I guess they came from some mines. They were saying.
Schematics.
We gotta figure out how legit the scientists are in this equation. Anyway, here's a clip that's been making the rounds, and shout out to was it Adam Fields? Yeah, I think it was Adam Fields in the chat who maybe told us about it. Here's Derek Carr mic'd up in Sunday's big win. To give you kind of an idea of who, if you're a Saints fan, is your new quarterback.
Give me another shot. Be ready if I give you a go route to end this thing. All right? Throw Rashid a go. Yes. Hey, listen to me, Rashid. Freaking run. Run.
So it's Carr on 3rd down. Down the sideline, open receiver, Shaheed.
Boom! Yeah! Yes! Ah!
What a huge first down.
Yes! Yes! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah!
Dude, that got me fired up. I got
That was
goosebumps.
great.
I think the highlight of the video is definitely Jameis giving the affirmative.
Like, I saw it, too.
Idea.
Yeah, like, that was my idea.
I actually, my favorite, I love that part. I do. My favorite, though, is when Carr goes, Rashid, freaking run. And, like, you could tell, like, he was, and then Rashid, you can very faintly hear him go, I'm going to run. I'm going to run.
Don't worry, bro. I got you, man. I got you, man. You can show, it shows you how badly, and Carr talked about it after the game, but just how badly he wanted that win on Sunday. I also like him getting a little headbutt in with the O-line at the end, knowing that the O-line would kind of use the energy created by that play to get their first rushing first down of the entire day. I don't know if it was literally the first rushing first down, but it was definitely their best sequence of 3 runs to go ahead and finish that game out.
Yeah, it was a struggle for them, to say the least. And so, And even in that play,
run.
He like put his arms down too, like he really like you're talking to your children. Even in that play though, he got pressure. He got hit.
Yeah, but how about that, dude? I mean, he looks off.
It's great for him.
Bob throws, bam, hit. First down. I definitely. I mean, look, the Jameis part, with everything Jameis does, he's just likable. Team guy in it. Blah blah blah. But I love the actual best part to me is him telling Carmichael, okay, so having a quarterback that is cognizant enough of what the game flow is, what the playbook is, what the defense is showing him, to be like, hey, man, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're going to win this game, this is what I need. And then Pete Carmichael and him now having the rapport where Carmichael trusts him, and he gave it to him. He let Sheed run the go.
And he even said, like, give me one more shot.
Yeah, he said, give me one more.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. I just need one.
Yeah.
Put Booby in. Let Booby spin.
You want to win, let Booby spin.
Love seeing the emotion. I always like seeing emotion from athletes. And Kat actually has a good write-up right now on ESPN about Derek Carr and kind of his departure with the Raiders and what he went through and how he felt. You could really see him relish that first win. I don't know if they showed it on the TV broadcast, but when he took the final knee, he threw the ball like 10 rows deep into the stands.
Well, bro, that's everything that's hanging in the balance here. His entire reputation was, even if it was a one-game sample. If they don't win that game, we come in here on Monday and it's Derek Carr still sucks.
Can't even beat Tannehill.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's awful. And again, I think they're only going to get better because I think the O-line will get better.
Well, look, I mean, not only is it like you said, like his career on the line, you go back and listen to him at the Raiders every now and then, like that's who he's always been. Like Carr's a passionate guy. He puts it all on the line every Sunday. It's one of the things I like the most about Derek Carr. And I'll tell you what, for all the Saints fans in the room, I will give you Dak Prescott and a second-round pick for Derek Carr. Can he take it?
And a second round?
I mean,
Dak and a second-round pick for Derek Carr right now.
We would take that deal, right? I mean, everybody take that deal. Like, what are we talking
if
about?
Jerry's listening, make the phone call, Jerry.
It's almost as if you just don't like Dak to some sort of irrational degree because you love the team too much. Interesting.
I've also always been a big Derek Carr guy.
Yes, that's true.
Look, I do want to remind you to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. As the weather changes, fall, colds, tickles, wickles, pickles, whatever the problem may be, you go to Patient Plus Urgent Care. Walk-ins always welcome. If you've already been, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. The facilities are incredible. And you create that digital profile. I already have one, though. So, right, I go in. There's a little iPad. Tap, tap, tap. I'm signed in. Bing, bang, boom. 15 minutes later, I got my medicine. I'm on my way. Get that, okay? And then remember, for all your occupational medicine needs, you want Patient Plus Urgent Care. There's a ton of them now, Jake. I mean, they're all throughout the city.
They are. There's going to be a location that is convenient for you no matter where you're at. Like all four of us here in this room live in a different part of Baton Rouge, and there's one that is convenient for us. It'll be convenient for you. PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
Patient Plus UC.
Oh, gosh. You just saw a comment.
No,
Okay.
on Twitter, it's another Texas fan.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, quote tweeting my apology video saying, I wanted to see this video as bad as my first boob pic.
Ooh.
And which, hey, man, that kind of flattering to me.
Yeah, that should make you happy that you made somebody that happy.
Yeah, I agree. Kate Winslet, never forget. Those were the first boobs I ever saw, I think.
Obviously Titanic.
Yeah. No, in real life. No, yeah.
Well, I don't know if she started before Titanic. I don't know
what she actually started in before? Goes back to Peter Jackson. Beautiful Creatures or Angelic Creatures, something along those lines. But it was her big breakthrough. Peter Jackson found her.
All right.
How about that? All right, when we get back, more OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new 2023 Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225.
Can y'all feel that? Can y'all feel that? Jig it out. Here I am in the place.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Dang, I apologize. I've been on Top Chat for an entire show. Forgot to click over to live chat.
Me too.
Please do remind me at the beginning of each show. Just like I remind you to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If it's your first time downloading, help yourself out. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word. When you do, you bet $5 on any NFL game, and given that DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, you instantly get $200 in bonus bet. So, new customers, take advantage of that. But how about this, Jake? You're already a customer, right? Well, throughout all of September, all DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day. So what those offers are going to be different, but like they're in the same vein as like getting bonuses, right? So be on the lookout for that every game day, NFL game day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. 2 new offers for the entire month of September. DraftKings Sportsbook. What are you waiting for? The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-426-2537. Huh. Just yesterday, Kate Winslet said she's unafraid of nude scenes. Still got it. Ask the Bench. Brought by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Tilter, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Should Jake make Mario watch the 37-part movie anthology of Elvis movies?
It's a lot.
Yes.
I think I'll pick 3. I'll pick 3. We'll go King Creole. We'll go Viva Las Vegas, and maybe it happens at the World's Fair. I don't know. We'll come up with.
You know, I've always wanted to try fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Oh, fantastic!
I just don't know where to get one.
Are they fried or is it just peanut butter banana sandwiches?
It's peanut butter, banana, bacon.
Yeah, and then he would. The lady who made it for him would toast the bread only, and then so it was toasted bread and then the peanut butter banana bacon.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, no, it is. Katie's made them for me before. Yeah.
Ask the Bench. If Mississippi State does a toss dive on 3rd and 8 against 11-man box, will they be your new favorite team?
Yes.
What's crazy is they might. Like how they were the calls. 3rd and 6. They ran the ball in 3rd and 6 with Will Rogers at quarterback, and not like one of those like. Sneaky, okay, we've been setting you up all games, and now we decide to run it.
Yeah.
No, like, very clearly, they're going to line up and run it. It was shocking. Ask the Bench, are you a chalupa or gordita guy? I have never been a Taco Bell guy. When I guess I used to like the cheesy gordita crunch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one. Like, Taco Bell's one of those places, I get something different every time.
Except for the Cine Twists.
Oh, the cinnamon twists are in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a staple.
Chalupa will make you papoopa if you're not careful. Ask the Bench.
Well, I mean, water makes you do that. So.
Favorite gangster movie?
Goodfellas, easily.
Ooh, it's tough to go away from Goodfellas.
That's my favorite. Look, I love The Godfather, and like I take a lot of crap for it. I'm of the opinion that Goodfellas is a better movie than Godfather.
I would agree.
I think it's a lot better.
I would agree.
Casino's really good too with
Casino's
Robert
great.
De Niro, but
Yes.
I still like Goodfellas.
Joe Pesci is in both those movies.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The cinephiles will eye roll this, but for my life, if I'm being completely honest with myself, as much as I love Goodfellas and everything else, it's probably like The Departed. But, again, I don't think that I get that that's not really on the it's not on the cinema level that maybe those others are.
Scarface is the answer. Come on, Pelican fly, Pelican fly.
When's the last time you watched it?
It was like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Need to rewatch it for sure.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench, laptops or desktops? Desktops.
Laptop.
Ask the Bench, best lightsaber fight in Star Wars history?
Oh, the first
Darth
one.
Maul.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to beat Duel of the Fates with Maul.
Yep. See?
Even though I don't know,
Big Star Wars
Obi-Wan
guy.
and Anakin and Revenge of the Sith.
Big
is
Star
a
Wars guy.
banger.
OT.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime,